things can turn around very quickly. All right, Triple M Bosch Tool Stats, what do you got for us, Big Daddy?
Just touch on Jamie Elliott in regards to what Ruse was saying. Well, Collingwood won their last 3 games when he was playing prior to getting injured, and he leads the club's goal kicking with 20 majors. And spoke about Sean Burgoyne, 34 years of age, past month, second-ranked player at the Hawks, racking up 23 disposals, 5 tackles, and 1 major per game. But the stat that I'll look out for today, collectively as a team, is Hawthorn's kicking efficiency. When they've averaged more than 70% this season, they've won 5 out of 6 matches, so we'll keep an eye out for that. And well done to Scotty Pendlebury, Howie, 250 games, as we know, draws level with Peter Dacos, and he's cracked 30-plus disposals on 91 occasions, which sees him sit 7th on the all-time list. Only needs 3 more 30-plus disposal games to overtake Scotty West, who was a champion at the Bulldogs.
Why don't you? And I'm glad you brought Scotty Pendlebury up. We didn't speak about him a great deal in the preview, and we should. 250 games.
Where does he sit, Rusey, in your mind, Scott Pendlebury?
Absolutely. I think the thing, we laud our champion, so he's a champion, so we put him in that category. I think what you see with Pendlebury, just the efficiency with his ball use. He's amazing getting out of traffic. He's amazing just picking, and that's our basketball background a bit. He was a terrific basketball as a kid. Yep. He's great awareness, and he just doesn't waste possessions, man, does he? I mean, he's probably him, Sam Mitchell. I'm trying to think of the midfielders in that bracket that ball in hand, that they're going to make the great decisions. Yeah,
he's a unique player, I reckon. I haven't seen too many players like him in that the game slows down around him, doesn't it? He has so much time and space. He has been an incredible player, Howie. I think I read an article somewhere during the week where people at Collingwood are saying that he's equal to, well, I guess alongside Nathan Buckley and others that have played at that footy club. He's just been so consistent for a long period of time, and 250 games, it's a great achievement.
He's got that almost Keanu Reeves in Matrix-style ability, just to stop, and the game almost goes past him, and that's how he creates space. Quite remarkable. They've had the toss in the middle. We'll get the update on that shortly. Age 29, Scotty Pendlebury, 250 games. All things being even, and it's hard to tell in this game, there's a man with a good another 50, 100 games in him, Ruzy. I know 100's another 5 seasons, but at this stage, and you're only 1 injury away from slowing things down, but at this stage, he just seems to be cruising through 250.
Yeah, you look at the type of players they are, I guess. It's always hard to pick longevity because of injuries, Duck, and you tend to fall. Sometimes you can fall over pretty quickly, but that style of player, the style of player that generally makes that 300, 350, that wiry, Johnny Blakey type body, Michael Tuck type body, he's sort of got that wiry. He's a 6'2", a 6'2 and a half. Terry Danaher, that type. He just reminds me of that 300, 350 game body type. Now, whether that's anything in it, but the way he plays too, he doesn't necessarily rely on his speed. He hasn't got just his awareness. So you could see him playing for a long period of time. Yeah, no doubt. I think he's not crawling to 250, is he? No. He's formed this year. I think he had a slow start to the year, Howie, but his last 8 weeks has been, I guess, almost career best. And
if he gets it 30 times, he's hurt you 30 times.
That's right. Yeah,
he doesn't need to get massive amounts of the ball to really hurt you.
Really interesting to see what'll unfold today. Nice crowd coming in too. Traditionally, these two get a decent old attendance.
Yeah, they do. Past 5, they average 60,000. I reckon we've probably got about 53-4 here this afternoon.
All right, just a little bit of push and shove in the middle between Brodie Grundy and a couple of Hawks. Isaac Smith just having a nice little friendly, and it was a friendly chat with Scotty Pendlebury. Just updating if you missed the news, Jeff Horn has defeated Manny Pacquiao in a unanimous decision in a big upset in Brisbane. Nice crowd in the house. McDonald's Triple M Rocks football. Here's the number 1 boy in the business, Wayne Schwass.
Sunday afternoon footy. Pies and the Hawks. Triple MCG for McDonald's Triple M Rocks footy. Nice bounce. Grundy, McAvoy. Hawks get it free. Bruce quickly throws it on the boot. Dunn thought he had it. Coming through off half forward was O'Brien. Marking him closely was Goldsack. And we'll have it thrown up inside the square. The Hawks will kick to the punt road end. Pendlebury in game 250 won the toss, and Pies obviously head to the city end.
So the Hawks kicking to the left of your radio dial. A lot of players around the footy. McAvoy trying to get it clear. Now's an opportunity for the Hawks. Off the boot of Howe, bangs it forward, but Collingwood have got the answers in defence through Crisp. He immediately slides onto the left foot and puts it out to Greenwood, who marks out of side in the sunshine with the shadows starting to come across the MCG.
The Pig delivers it nicely. Good mark by Darcy Moore, a long way from home. He moves it on quickly. Got it to Phillips, left foot Chisler down the line for Solo. Takes the mark. Good start. Promising build-up. Treloar got a man inside. Gets it free. Comes to Adams. Shot on goal. The man's there. Peroxide hair. It's Billy Elliott. And the Pies get the opening goal 60 seconds into the game. One straight to no score. Triple M Beaumont Tile scoreboard.
Yeah, really crisp ball, you said, Duck, wasn't it? It's just 4 or 5 spot-on kicks, and I love the running of Treloar to catch up to that. It's hard to catch up to the ball when they're moving it that quick by foot, but his ability to get across and run hard and get the handball and then handball it over to, I'm not sure who he handballed that to there, but and then kick into
Taylor Adams.
It's a Taylor Adams. So those two midfielders running really hard. So I liked it, but good foot skills.
Yeah, absolutely. Great to see Darcy Moore pushing up the ground and good solid mark to start the game. They'll gain confidence out of that. And I tell you what, Jamie Elliott, he looks like a skunk.
Well, thoughts on that hair, Duck?
Pepe Le Pew.
I can't talk too much about hair, but if I had hair, I wouldn't have it like that.
No, McDonald's Triple M Rocks football. It is Billy Idol. Still, he's got the last laugh because he's got the opening goal in the first minute of the game. And the Pies push it off the ground inside 50. Running back is Fazolo. Heatherly, the late inclusion with Stratton. Hodge drops what he should have taken. Fazolo, really well done by Heatherly to effect a spoil when it looked like Fazolo had a goal in hand. Now the Hawks defenders come in numbers and tied up 20 out from their defensive goal.
30 out from the Pies goal. They lead by 6 points. Elliott with the opening goal inside the first 60 seconds. Adams and Mitchell lock horns. McAvoy comes to Mitchell. Had a big day out last time these two teams played. Birchall releases the handball. Got it over to his teammate Brand, and just the Hawks through Bruce. Back pocket. Southern side comes back to Hodge inside the goal square defensive end.
Just watching, Taylor Giray, I reckon, might be tagging Jeremy Howe, because it looks like Giray's playing forward, which is a role I don't think he's ever played before in his life.
Okay, Paul Roos, Triple M C-Bus Super Special comments, and the Collingwood fans booing Luke Hodge. I'm not sure what that's about. Oh, Giray takes a really good mark. The man you just mentioned, running back with a flight in front of Howe and Chris, does well. Goes inboard to the special one, Burgoyne. He's on the centre wing. Pies have got the opening goal through Elliott. Burgoyne sees the switch and takes it up.
Heads out wide towards the southern wing. Heatherly over the top, got a man running hard. That's Hardwick, but it was a poor kick. Broomhead left his man. Fits the handball inboard to the 250 gamer. Pendlebury got a man out. Now it's Phillips. Can run. Have a bounce. He does. Southern wing now.
Got space. Thinks about the second bounce, but in the end drives it long towards Fazolo and Hodge. Hodge gets front position, gets a fist on it away from Fazolo. Howe arrives on the scene, as does Treloar. Hawks have got the numbers at ground level. Heatherly needs to get rid of it. He's caught and does well to get it away from Elliott. Still the Pies push hard. They're inside their attacking 50. Hodge just hacks it out of mid-air, out on the full. And Pendlebury in game 2 fitting or bring it in just forward of the wing out of side.
Yeah, Collingwood's pressure's been really good to start this game.
So a 6-point lead to the Pies. Pendlebury's got it. Left half forward flank, southern side. Just puts the ball down the line. Hawks have numbers, plenty of them. Keeping it alive was Brody Grundy, so did Greenwood. Flicked the handball back towards Fasolo. But Hodge, as he's made a career out of it, got a hand in there, rush behind. 1-1-7 to no score. Pies lead, 4.5 gone. Triple M Beaumont Tile scoreboard.
Am I missing something? Why is Luke Hodge being booed by the Collingwood supporters? Not sure if there's been an incident in the past. Anyway, we'll keep an eye on that one. Ball out towards the wing. Pies have got the numbers. Maynard, tough, strong boy, shorts it. Chris puts his man under pressure immediately, and the Hawks effect the turnover through Giray. They're not clear though. Heatherly bursts through. Collingwood now with the numbers, just forward of the wing, dishing it out wide. Now coming back inboard. Collingwood have got the ball in the hands of Phillips, and he goes inboard with a foot.
Yeah, good kick. Found side bottom. Loves to go onto that left boot. Goes wide to the fat side. Kick is perfect. A good mark taken by the Pig Greenwood. Some heat coming from Roughhead. But Greenwood can go back and line up for the Pies second.
He just misjudged that Roughhead. It looked like the ball almost was going to fly to him. Yeah, it was a bit of a mongrel punt, and then he turned his back, and before you knew it, it landed on top of Greenwood. So Ruffy misjudged that the flight of the ball then.
4-6 from set shots. Levi Greenwood. Second goal on offer. If he can pull the trigger, I think he's got it. He has. 5.5 gone opening term. And the Magpies off to a nice start. 2-1-13. Hawks yet to score. Triple M Beaumont Tile scoreboard. Tylers, listen up. Buy 5 bags of MCB Unilight or Multilight and get one free exclusive. Thanks to our great mates at Beaumont's.
And you'd love your good kicks, kicking the ball inside 50 like side bottom. Took that mark, turned. He can turn either way on his left or right. And he just turned quickly. And that's why the ball got to Greenwood as quick as it did, because he played on. Therefore, Hawthorn weren't able to close down the space. I love it when players mark the ball in that area of the ground and then they make their decision on the move.
And the fact that they kick it to the fat side duck there too, because generally that's
All
the
the
advantage.
space.
Forward space too, and it's 6-1 inside 50s at the moment in Collingwood's favour.
Boys in the back row have just brought it to my attention that Hodge clashed with Pendlebury in the dying stages of the game, the last two times these sides meet. So footy fans have got long memories. Near map aerial imagery around the grounds. We'll get to it in a moment. The Hawks, they push it inside 50. Claiming a free kick but not being rewarded with showmakers. It's across the boundary line.
Yeah, how it's the Bombers by 14 points over Brisbane halfway into the final quarter.
What does that do from a ladder point of view for the Bombers?
Well, the Bombers, that means if they win, they'll be more than likely one game outside.
Umpire hurls it back in. Grundy in front of McAvoy. Roughhead controlled it. Gunston flicks the handle over the top to McAvoy. He's flung in the tackle. Didn't have the ball by Grundy. And big boy Ben can go back and line up for the Hawks' first goal of the game. 7 played opening term.
So just looking at the Chemist Warehouse replay screen there in the ruck contest, and then was just thrown to the ground. Definite free kick to McAvoy. McAvoy's been in really good form this year, Swatter.
He's become a good player since crossing over from the Saints duck.
He's 9-0 from set shots as well, so when he gets an opportunity, he nails them.
Dead eye Dick. Big boy Ben on the runway from 45. It's oh so easy when you've got a routine and technique that's simple. A couple of Hawks players bang into Grundy. McAvoy gets the Hawks' first goal. Just under 8 minutes played. 1 straight 6, 2-1-13. Pies lead. Triple M Beaumont Tile scoreboard.
Yeah, looking forward to that matchup, Duck. It's a good point. I think Ben McAvoy has had a very good season, and Grundy's been exceptional. So generally, you see Ruckman go head-to-head pretty well all day now, because both of these teams really haven't got a recognised second ruck. Well, Mason Cox will go in, but he's generally been playing mainly as a forward. So you're going to see a lot of the head-to-head matchup between McAvoy and Grundy, and it'll be... I'm really looking forward to that, because the winner of that's going to have a big impact on the result of the game.
Contested ball, 12-6 Hawthorn's way, dominating the clearances 5-1.
Thanks, Chewy. McAvoy and Grundy. This time Grundy gets the tap, but Roughhead comes in off the wing, bursts through the centre square, throws it on the left boot, drives it long, inside attacking 50. Showmakers gets front position, does everything but takes the mark, gives it to Duray. The Hawks have got 2 in a minute, but mark that one down to Jared Roughhead. Bit of a blue on as well. Collingwood 2-1-13, Hawthorn 2 straight 12. I reckon Duray's getting into Howe. He's playing that role, as you talked about, Roosie, and a goal on the board really adds to that role.
Yeah, it does. He did. He kicked that goal, went straight up to him. So it looks like that's when you can. Duray looks like he's going to try and get to Howe. We've seen him take a mark and kick a goal now. So now it's over to Jeremy Howe just to play as a traditional defender and say, well, okay, Taylor, I'll beat you on the day, and where I can, I'll go and win the footy. So that's the mindset shift now from Jeremy Howe. He knows he's got a man on him. He has to shift his mindset a little bit, but defensively, and we'd see him on the Triple M Chemist Warehouse replay. Howe tried to read the ball, and Duray kicked the goal.
No better combination than the King and the Zen Master. Paul Roos, Wayne Carey, Triple M C-Bar Super Special comments. 1 point ball game, 2 straight 2-1. Pies lead. Like the play from Roughhead, put himself up on the wing too, Duck, to get that ball inside 50.
He's such a dangerous player when he does that.
Yeah, good to see him back, the skipper. And the Hawks have it inside the square. It's a loose ball. Good pressure by Billy Elliott, Pendlebury and Phillips. They wrap up the solitary Hawk, which is Birchall, and we'll have it thrown up inside the square towards the southern wing, Duck.
And what he's doing by doing that, Swatter, is he's taking Dunn out of his comfort zone, taking him up into the middle of the ground. Now, I'm not sure Dunn would have been up there too often, Roosie, so it's a really good move to do that.
Yeah.
So, Roosie, if you're coaching Lyndon Dunn, how do you want him to play Ruffy with what he's doing?
Well, I'd be saying to Dunn, go to Schoenmakers. Get Langdon. So Dunn should be playing as the deepest defender and picking up the deepest forward.
Burton takes the ball across the boundary line. Coaches both looking on with interest on the Triple M Chemist Warehouse replay screen. Does cover the new David Beckham fragrance, Respect. at Chemist Warehouse, the real house of fragrances. You're a man that likes the fragrance stuff. Have you had a crack at Respect?
No, haven't tried that one yet.
Right, only comes in a small bottle, so it's no good for you.
Throw in, Pies by a point, half forward out of sight. And they flick it around by hand here, the Hawks. Burton got on the end of a Birchall handball. Langford, I should say. The scrubby ball to the outer wing. Hawthorn have numbers. Mitchell with the fend off. Burton by hand. Now they're away. Howe, and they can run with Billy Hartung charging.
Puts one, bounce, looks for a second, but now drives it inside 50. There's a whistle on play.
Come on downfield, Hawthorn.
So
Hawthorn's free.
it's against Jeremy Howe after the Pies had taken a defensive mark. So Collingwood were going to be in possession, but it's going the way of Showmakers. To get the boys to have a look at it on the Triple M Chemist Warehouse replay, but Collingwood would have been in possession. As a result, Showmakers can go back and have a shot from only about 12 metres out and should kick it. We'll see the incident. We'll have a look at it in a moment as Hodge comes onto the ground beside Adams. This to give the Hawks a lead after Collingwood kicked the first two. Showmakers normally pretty good at the set shot department. This is no mistake. The Hawks get 3 in a row. 3 straight 18. The Pies 2-1-13, 11:54 into the first term on the Triple M Beaumont Tile scoreboard. McDonald's, the new Despicable Me 3 family box, is now available at Macca's. Made for sharing, made for family.
Yeah, and Jeremy hasn't had a great start, has he? Gervais taken a mark, kicked a goal, and it looked like it was a late hit there. And as you said, Howie, it was basically Collingwood's ball. They had 2v1, they marked the football and we're going to go back the other way. So that's resulted in a goal. And I'll tell you what might be going in the coach's box too, boys. Mitchell's had 7 already. He's on the way to 50 again.
Well, we heard Brent Sanderson tell us that if he got possessions early, then Greenwood might be the man that slide onto him, which was very honest from the assistant coach.
So he's got 7 Bosch Tool stats already. We've only played 12 and a half minutes. Hawks lead by 5 for McDonald's. Triple M rocks footy. O'Brien pumps it inside 50. Langdon had it, lost it. Make that 8 for Mitchell. Flicks the handball forward. Howe charges the loose ball. Got a little bit of room. Nice little shepherd from Lyndon Dunn. Comes to Trelaw. Dances and dodges and weaves a handball back to Howe. Under heat. Chris back to Trelaw. All inside their forward 50 for Hawthorn. Good frontal pressure.
Good pressure from the Hawks. Now Langford bangs it right to the teeth of goal. Collingwood got the numbers. They don't take clear possession, but now they eventually do through Ramsey by hand. They're still under pressure trying to work it out of there. Arriving like an absolute truck was one of the Hawthorn players in Henderson, the former Crow. Applied a big tackle. They've turned it over. There's a blue at centre-half forward.
Trelaw. Great tackle from Ricky Bobby Henderson.
Meanwhile, the Hawks, off the boot of O'Brien, there's another whistle. And after all that, it was just a little incident in the mark. So it looks like O'Brien will get to bring it back inside 50 once again. All happening.
Hey, Roosie, you surprised players still, given all the publicity around the jumper punches. Trelaw's just landed a decent punch on the chest of Tommy Mitchell.
Staggered. I'm absolutely staggered. And I think it's just that accumulated. If I go back, and I want to put Trent Cotcham, if he had got suspended, you knock it off to day one, it doesn't happen. But the players still think they can get away with it.
O'Brien, Hawks lead by 5. Grundy parks the bus, completely runs underneath the Sharon. Loose ball, edge of the square. Howe's got to be good. Hot handball. Trelaw, beautifully done. A blind turn out of the heavy traffic and delivers a nice ball out to Billy Elliott.
It was brilliant by Trelaw. He took the ball at full speed, whacked in a blind turn and hit his man on the chest from 60 metres away. As a result, Collingwood moved the ball to centre wing. Phillips and O'Brien. Phillips wins that battle. Now Birchall, the experienced man, arrives on the scene. Hodges giving away a free kick for dangerous kicking off the ground, for want of a better term. It will go the way of the Pies. It looks like Thomas.
Yeah, good to see him back. 2 years on the sidelines. Round the grounds, near map aerial imagery.
Swatter, Brisbane leading the Bombers by 5 points, 6:47 remaining.
Say it again, Ash.
Brisbane leading the Bombers by 5 points, 6:47 remaining.
Hawthorn reload through defensive 50. Langford handball. Mitchell
10 touches.
Unbelievable. Sicily's gang tackled well. Pies have plenty of numbers around the ball. Trelaw through the square. Weaves, arches the back and bullets the ball to Grundy, who lost his wheels. Faz has got it.
Fazolo, little chipping ball, well cut off by the Hawks in Hardwick. The Pies get it inside 50, stepping one way and the other is side bottom. Now to Trelaw. He's had a good couple of minutes. Back towards Adams, just bangs it inside 50. Roughhead playing all over the ground, caught in a tackle by Elliott, but the Hawks through Hodge are good enough to work it out of their defensive 50. Happening.
Yep, Mitchell again, I think, wasn't it, two-man?
Yeah, spot on, Swatter.
Here we go, the running man, the boy from Ballarat with a barnstorming run with one bounce, gets around Chris with two, got men outside and inside, goes to O'Brien, look right, young man, he does, the kick is okay, Hawthorn have men drifting forward, Schoenmakers for two, Hawthorn have slammed on 4 consecutive goals. Good game of footy here at the MCG. Hawthorn 4 straight 24, Collingwood 2-1-13, 16 play, Triple M Beaumont Tiles scoreboard.
It's a good game to watch when you can take the ball from one end of the ground to the other, but that was a bit of a miscommunication by 2 Collingwood players there. They both went up, ball spilt, Hawthorn pounced on the loose ball, and then it was just beautiful footy, wasn't it?
I think it was Dunn and Adams duck that they ran into each other and no talk. Ball bounces down, and when Isaac Smith gets the ball, he makes things happen in space, doesn't he? And it's great off-ball running by Schoenmakers.
Yeah, and don't you love it when a player like Smith takes a guy on? Knew he had the wheels, got around him, and then good use of the footy.
McDonald's, Triple M Rocks football, Roughhead having an influence in the middle. As is Elliott, getting plenty of the footy early. And DeGoey as well, up in the centre of the ground. Now the ball to the outer side. Greenwood watches it. Tight on the boundary line. The Hawks want to get it across that boundary line. I reckon they'll eventually do it in the hands of Birchall. What it was, Duck, and you often use the term and I enjoy it, those 2 Collingwood players, they muffed it.
They muffed it. They did.
Triple MC Bus Super Special comments. That's the sort of stuff you get. 4 straight, 2-1.
They muffed it.
Yep.
One of Duck's favourites.
How we roll with it, Roosie. It's not even a word, we make it up. Say it with conviction. 11-point lead to the Hawks. Schoenmaker's got a couple of goals. An umpire will come in and throw it up. Just give us an near-map aerial imagery update, Ash.
Swatter Brisbane by 5 points over the Bombers, 4:27 remaining.
It'll be a big win by Brisbane. West Coast got it done at that venue yesterday by 7 points against the Bulldogs. Roughhead like this game. What's he had?
5 touches.
Poor handball though. Taylor Adams has tackled really well. Ball goes inside 50. Hawks have numbers. Sicily's one, takes the mark.
How many close games has there been? How good's the footy at the moment? Another one that Eddie had at the moment. Sicily, a bit of a wobbly kick, but the Hawks are good enough. Across half back. Drive it long, but it's not a good kick. It goes to Goldsack. He's got it on the AFL logo. Centre wing, outer side. He finds a man in Phillips. Turns around, wants to go by hand and does. Approaches the 50. Couple of little hand passes, short ball. And it finds Thomas and Josh. Good to see him back out there, the man from Redland. He'll line up from about 35 out directly in front. Nice crowd at the MCG. Cool afternoon. Not too much breeze to speak of. Quickly round the grounds, near map aerial imagery while we get a moment.
Yeah, Brisbane by 6 points over the Bombers, 3:41 remaining.
And the Bombers driving the ball inside 50. So Thomas, he'll kick from about 40 metres out. So he's got pretty good purchase. Welcome back to Josh Thomas, all the Collingwood players, and I mean all the Collingwood players. Give him a little tap on the head or the bum, and Collingwood get their third. Hawthorn 4 straight 24, Collingwood 3-1-19 on the Triple M Beaumont Tiles scoreboard. And near map aerial imagery around the grounds.
Swatter, a goal, and Howie, I should say, goal to the Bombers.
McDonald, Tip and Woody.
Exactly.
Tipper.
So it's all tied up. 82 points apiece, 3:24 remaining.
Couldn't have another draw, could we?
Unbelievable.
Ash, when was the last goal Josh Thomas kicked at AFL level?
Yeah, Bosch Tools, round 22, all the way back in 2014, Swatter.
There you go, kids. That's why he's going to be inducted into the Kangaroos Hall of Fame later this year. He's just got an unbelievable memory retention. Straight off the cuff. And cuff. 5-point lead for McDonald's. Triple M Rocks footy. Adams socket the ball out of mid-air. Goes towards Billy Elliott. But nice mark. Good hands by Burton. One of these young kids who shows a lot of promise.
Not so much on Friday night when he had a malware issue and he melted down. The computer melted down.
Hacked his computer.
He was on the line to Pyongyang of all places to try and sort it out.
Went to his paper stats.
He did. Now Burgoyne. What's he got for us? Just gets around 3 Collingwood players and a rare poor effort on the left boot by Sean Burgoyne. And now those 3 Collingwood players get him. He's in trouble here, the champ. And the umpire says, no, had no prior opportunity. He'll toss it up. Near map aerial imagery around the ground.
Still all tied up. 82 points apiece, 2:52 remaining.
Calling it, Ash?
No, Swatter.
Ball is pumped inside 50 for the Hawks, but Lyndon Dunn. Been a handy pick-up for the Pies in the back end, Roosie.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, look, he's a very good one-on-one body player, and He's got good skills out of the back half, kicks a long ball and can get you out of that 50-metre.
A risky kick from Fasolo, wanted Hoskin Elliott, but Duray chipped in and took the easy mark, Northern wing.
O'Brien provides a lead, but the Hawks just elect to slow it down. Hartung, now Birchall, gives it back to Duray. He's kicked one goal. Outside of the boot job wasn't his best, runs across the boundary line in front of O'Brien. And the ball 30 metres out from the Hawks' goals. They lead 4 straight 24. Collingwood 3-1-19. Round the grounds.
Oh, Howie. So it's Brisbane currently by 1 point over the Bombers. 2:16 remaining, but they've taken a mark deep inside their attacking 50. In fact, the players will have a set shot for goal only about 15-20 metres out directly in front.
Okay, that to give them a 7-point lead with under 2 minutes on the clock.
So the ball is loose. Treloar comes after it. Could have socketed it off the ground if he wanted to. Shellmaker's got a couple of goals already. And a loose handball comes out wide from Brand. Sets up Hodge. Hawthorn have men free. Burton, what's he at, Ash?
5 touches.
Over the top. Kick is okay to Howe.
Can't take the mark. A free kick and advantage played. Shields from 35 on the run for the Hawks' 5th. Slides to the near side. The Brisbane Lions kick that goal. They lead 89-82. 1:40 on the clock here. Hawthorn 4-1-25, Collingwood 3-1-19, 21.5 done. First term, Triple M Beaumont Tile scoreboard.
6:45 to go the opening term. Was it Leicester who kicked that goal, Ash?
Spot on, Spotter.
And the Hawks to reload. Mitchell
12 touches.
just finding so much footy, and Schoenmakers got off to a good start. Burgoyne spears the ball inside 50 and he gets his man. Shields 45 out, slide angle. Hawks lead by 6 points. Chance to go 2 goals in front.
Yeah, Collingwood have got to do a better job at defending the width of the field. I mean, they're okay in a contest area, about 10-metre radius, but as soon as it gets on the outside, they're getting absolutely slaughtered.
So the boy from the Basin, Eastern under-18s, 26-year-old premiership player with the Hawks, now a leader of this changing group on the runway, and he nails the goal. 5-1-31, Hawthorn lead the Pies, 3-1-19, 22.5 minutes gone. Triple M Beaumont Tile scoreboard around the grounds near map aerial imagery.
Still Brisbane by 7 points over the Bombers, a minute 25 remaining.
Yeah, what are the marks inside 52 men? Already the Hawks able to take a couple of, or more than a couple of uncontested marks in that area.
Yeah, they're racking them up, Doug, for Bosch Tours, and we talk about the kicking efficiency going at 70%, but the marks inside 50 have racked up 3 already.
Yep.
Lions have got the ball on centre wing. They lead by 7 points with a minute on the clock. From McDonald's, Triple M Rocks football earlier on today. The Hornet, Jeff Horn, beat Manny Pacquiao in a unanimous points decision, and Pacquiao said directly after the fight that he would return to Brisbane for a rematch. Brisbane continue to hold the ball in possession with under a minute on the clock. From McDonald's, Triple M Rocks football. Steals side bottom, bursts out of the middle, ball under the arm, gets free, gives it across to Taylor Adams on the AFL logo. Now to Phillips. He wants to go back inboard. Opportunity for Chris by hand. Back to side bottom. Can he spot a man inside 50? Long ball. Mason Cox. He's got Brand on him. Now back to Sicily. Looping hand pass to Mitchell. Risky. He's in trouble here. He just gets away from the man. Maynard did really well. In fact, it was Pendlebury. Well done by that man Mitchell, who's had a brilliant first term.
Ash.
Yeah, around the grounds, Brisbane by 8 points over the Bombers. 20 seconds remaining. It's inside their forward 50 for the Brisbane Lions.
Call it now, Ash.
Yep, they're home. 19 seconds remaining.
Big win by Brisbane.
Another upset swatter.
Yep, it's been a great year. It really has.
Can't block on the mark. Simon's up there, boys. Stay out, Jeremy.
All right, so reset. And Gunston spears the ball to Howe. He's been busy too, Ash.
Yeah, 7 touches.
Hodge cruises through half back, drops the ball towards Langford, came at it with courage, couldn't take the mark. Brett Shields, no, they got it free. It was Bruce. Eventually comes to Isaac Smith, a darting ball round the corner. And Ryan Shellmakers is lining up for his 3rd goal. What's his PB goals-wise, Ash?
Yeah, Bosch Tour stats, 4 majors, Swatter.
Well, he knows this. He's one shy of it. We've only got stuck into the opening term. So just repeat the full-time score with 4.5 minutes to play here at the Triple MCG. Hawthorn up by 12.
Siren has just sounded. So Brisbane have defeated Essendon by 8 points, 13-12-90 to the Bombers, 11-16-82.
Very happy Chris Fagan on the Triple M Chemist Warehouse replay screen. Interesting run-up from Ryan Shellmakers halfway through his run-up, and then he just stops And it goes through for a behind. 5-2-32, 3-1-19. Hawthorn lead, 25 play. Triple M Beaumont Tiles scoreboard.
Well, the whole blueprint to beat Hawthorn, man, is stop the marking. And at the moment, they're marking it at will.
23 uncontested marks, and that rolls out to 72% by foot as well.
Yep.
Follow this game, hashtag AFL Hawks Pies. Great to see on the Triple M Chemist Warehouse replay screen the Brisbane coach Chris Fagan genuinely delighted for his footy club. Pies, meanwhile, got the ball into the middle of the ground. Pendlebury slides through on the left boot. A little bit too much juice on the ball. The Hawks defenders need to be good here. 40 out from their defensive goal. Showmakers, he's back now. Might be spending a bit of time in the ruck, and he's caught with the footy. 50 out. The Hawks lead 32-19. That's all on the Triple M Beaumont Tiles scoreboard.
You made a point of it, Ash. Kicking efficiency for Hawthorn. If it's plus 70, they've won 5 games this year.
5 out of 6, Swatto, and that's 72 at the moment.
So they're going well. And Grundy tries to come through heavy traffic. Couldn't get boot to ball. 48 out from the Pies goal city end. It's a 13-point lead to the Hawks. Free kick. It'll go Hawthorn's way. Collingwood player had dived in on the ball. And the Hawks to reload. And it will be Caden Brand.
Brand, both shoulders strapped up. A little low ball to Duray, who's kicked an early goal. Roosie told us he was playing a defensive role on Jeremy Howe. Now Hodge had a fair bit of it on the Triple M Bosch Tool stat sheet.
6 touches.
Was with us just on Friday night in the Triple M box. Now he's out in the MCG, a place that he absolutely loves. Long drop punt down the line. McAvoy does well to spoil. Grundy, long hand pass from Langford. A little bit of room for the Hawks now. They run out of that. Gunston tries to keep it in. Somehow Burgoyne does that. Sends it inside 50. Rough head. Gets front position. Does everything but take the mark. Looping hand pass. O'Brien. Oh, it goes a little funny. Kick back towards Showmakers. They made a bit of a mess of that, the Hawks, and Greenwood will repel off half back.
Dodged the bullet
easy
there.
handball, Swatted, didn't he?
Yep. Dodged the bullet there, the Pies. Side bottom. It may come back, though. Sicily charges in front of DeGoey and takes the mark. What's the inside 50 time in forward half stats for Bosch to Lash?
13-12 Hawthorn's way. The inside 50 is time in the forward half. They're at 49%.
Sicily with a long-range low bomb outside 50.
And a little dance.
Almost a Ty Kennelly jiggle top of the bloody dice, Brucey. Quite happy with himself. We like a little bit of Patron after a goal like that, and the Hawks get 6. 6-2-38, 3-1-19. Hawthorn lead, Triple M Beaumont Tiles scoreboard.
I tell you what, he hit it well though, didn't he? Well outside 50, Swatter, and he hit it hard and low.
That's a one-iron, isn't it? That's a one-iron off the deck.
Yeah, good leg, and was pretty happy with it.
Bob Jane T-Marts, Sarah Fayor.
Yeah, Duray's come off, guys, at that last change. Indicated to the doctor there was some tightness around his right quad. He's just having that assessed at the moment.
Thanks, Sarah. Nicely done down there. Chilly afternoon, Sarah.
Oh, yeah, she's fresh.
Yep, she is fresh.
Big stat contested possession too, Harry. We had Chip Frawley talk about how much they've worked on that. 34-21 in favour of Hawthorn's way.
Yeah, it is. They made a real effort. It wasn't really even going that way when they were winning premierships, was it, the Hawks? Now Fazolo to Treloar. The Pies trail 38-19 after kicking the first 2 goals of the match, it must be said. Now Howe puts one inside 50. Good contest, 1-on-1. Well done by Hardwick, the defender. Brings it to ground to Hodge. He goes a little round the corner kick to Showmakers, who's had a good start. Kicked 2 goals into behind. Back by hand to Shields, back to Showmakers.
They've got a man out. It's Big Ben. McAvoy couldn't get the kick, though. Henderson socketed it off the ground. McAvoy will eventually get it. Had to wait for the handball. Maynard's a run, old-fashioned scrapper. Couldn't get his man. Shield the wraparound. Pumps the ball inside 50. O'Brien in front. Goldsat with a good spoil. Really good spoil. Howe mops up. Hoskin Elliott puts the ball out in front of the pig, and he's got 3 hooks to beat.
One of them arrives on the scene. Burton kicked a couple of rippers last week. Many people think he's the future of the Hawks. Up there, favouritism for the NAB AFL Rising Star, and the ball is not going anywhere. Just outside the Hawthorn attack 50, just updating that result against the Lions and Essendon Chew.
Yeah, Brisbane defeated the Bombers by 8 points after the Bombers led by 19 at three-quarter time.
And Jeff Horn beat Manny Pacquiao in a unanimous decision up in Brisbane. Now Broomhead, errant hand pass. They make mistakes, Collingwood. They might pay for this one. Burton bangs it inside 50. Gunston needs to make a contest. Brings it to ground. Hoskin Elliott's there. Now Howe. Not looking that confident over the footy at the moment. But this man is gold. Sack. Repels another attack and gives it to Greenwood.
Yep. 55 seconds to go. Final game, round 15, between who, what time and where?
Fremantle versus St Kilda, Domain Stadium, 4:40 Melbourne time.
So where does that leave Essendon in regards to the 8, Ash?
Well, potentially if St Kilda win, they'll be 2 games outside of the 8, the Bombers.
Thomas Northern wing, handball to Goey under heat from Burgoyne. What a player he's been. Loose ball, Thomas kept it alive, got it to Grundy, picked it up well for a big man, goes to Darcy Moore. It's a good kick in the end, Ruzi.
Oh, it was a really good kick.
And Moore's called to play on, goes to Billy Elliott. What can he do? Can he do something special from the boundary line? Centering kick, goal square side, bottom McAvoy. That's where you want your ruckman. Last line of defence, sees it through for a rush behind, 3-2-20. 6-2-38, Hawthorn doing it nicely. Shadows a quarter time. Triple M Beaumont Tiles scoreboard.
A couple of turnovers, too many at the moment, the Pies. Early stages, though. Deep in the first term, they trail by 18 points. Hodge plays onto himself from fullback. O'Brien flies, can't take the mark. Collingwood kicked the first two of the first term, and then the Hawks with 6 of the next 7 goals. Showmakers has got a couple for Hawthorn. Hawthorn 6-2-38, Collingwood 3-2-20. The Hawks by 18 points to McDonald's. Triple M, Rucks football. Entertaining game of footy here at the MCG. Pretty open, plenty of goals on the board. Collingwood kicked the first 2. They ended up with 3 for the term. However, Hawthorn kicked 6. The Hawks 6-2-38. The Pies 3-2-20. The Lions in an upset over Essendon, and Horn in a big upset over Pacquiao. Unanimous points decision up there in Brisbane. Mark Howe with you, Wayne Swash, the two man in the back row. A couple of superstars, Wayne Carey and Paul Roos.
Well, Mitchell's only on track for 52, so that's the bad news or the good news for Collingwood, depending on how they look at it. So, look, good first quarter, Duck. I just felt both teams were pretty good pressure on around the ball, but when it got on the outside, Collingwood's defensive mechanisms to defend the width of the ground was really poor. And the telling stats were the kicking efficiency and uncontested marks.
Uncontested footy, exactly right. Collingwood allowed the Hawks too much uncontested footy. And as we know, I mean, they're not the team they once were, but Birchall back into that team, Hodge back into that team, and when Smith's on fire, I mean, if you give them time and space, they'll cut you up with possession, and that's exactly what they were able to do. And in the end, the goals they got, Roosie, were really easy ones, weren't they?
No, they were, and there's just nowhere near the pressure on, as I said, when Hawks get into their kicking game, we saw no pressure at all. Burgoyne's kick inside 50. There was another kick to Schoenmakers, who was off ball, running into an open goal. So I think Nathan Buckley would have addressed that at quarter time. Guys, we've got to have a greater commitment to defending, not just around the contest, which is, that 5 to 10 metre radius, man, but around the ball, the width of the ground, the spaces of the MCG. They've got to put more speed on their defence to defend the Hawks.
Paul Roos, Wayne Carey in the back row, down on the boundary, Sarah Fayor.
Just a couple of things to keep an eye on, Howie, for the Hawks. Ben McAvoy came off midway through that first quarter and just extensively stretched his left hamstring, but he ran around in that first quarter okay. And also Taylor Duray, he had his right quad assessed late in that first term, but he's going to start on the field.
Triple M Bosch Tool stats, Chew.
Hawthorn 76% by foot, Howie.
So we're underway, second term for McDonald's. Triple M Rocks footy. Treloar got a kick, was smothered. Pies just hack it forward. Wasn't pretty. They got it to half forward, just near the 50-metre arc. Billy Alec comes away with the ball. Mason Cox overruns it and runs past it. De Goey tried to paddle it into the path of side bottom. Hawthorn, Mitchell, 14. Unbelievable. Might want to play someone on him, eh?
Ball goes to the wing. The Hawks kicking to the right-hand side of your radio dial. Treloar, Bruce. Now it comes an inside 50 ball, only just very shallow. Sisley cuts off. Needs to get rid of it. It was a bit casual there, James Sisley. Thought he had a bit more time than he did. Luckily, he gets away across the boundary line. If you're a Hawthorn fan, it's 50 out from the Pies goals.
A little bit of your heritage coming out there, Schwatter. Hey.
Yep, that's it. Now we've got one of our boys out there, Kurt Heatherley. Got the job on Mason Cox.
What did you roll with?
Hey.
Oh, okay.
Cheers, bro. All right, we'll have it thrown in.
Let's have a hungy.
38.
Get stuck in.
Why not? Bit cold. 18-point lead to the Hawks. Pies, Phillips. Got it off the side bottom, did well. He had one arm held, scrubbed the ball towards Lyndon Dunn. Just needs the thing to bounce up, and it didn't do it for him. Got a bad bounce. Hawthorn to reload. Langford on the charge. Aaron Handball gets him now.
He gets away from Goldsack just. Looping hand pass is not good. Back towards the Pies. Pendlebury off half back now. Won the America's Cup too, Schwatter.
Yep.
With an Australian captain.
Dominant.
With an Australian captain. Ball towards the boundary line, just forward of the wing for the Pies. The mark is taken by Darcy Moore just inside the field of play. Plays on down towards big Mason Cox. Gets two hands up, can't take the mark. Burgoyne is there. Beautiful little hand pass to Burton. Tries to slide one down alongside the boundary, and Billy Hartung marks.
So their kicking efficiency, Ash, for the Hawks.
Yeah, going at 75% now.
Uncontested marks.
Yeah, they've racked up 27.
So Hartung delivers it to Langford. Maynard just makes him earn the mark with a gentle shove in the back right in front of Hawthorn's bench. Just repeat that Brisbane win.
So Brisbane 13-12-90 defeated Bombers by 8 points, 11-16-82.
Fremantle will host who?
St Kilda Domain Stadium, 4:40
If
start.
the Saints win, what happens?
Saints will be in the 8 and Bombers will be 2 games outside.
Just love his ability, kids. That's why he's the number 1 stats man in the land. He's got all the answers as Burton couldn't take the mark. Good work by Moore. Ball goes out of bounds in front of the Pies bench.
What the Bombers lead by at three-quarter time, Stu?
Yeah, 19 points, Howie.
I think the Bombers, Chairman, correct me if I'm wrong, at one stage were 51-27 inside 50s.
Yeah, they were.
Triple M Bosch tool stats. Bosch connected range. Good, better Bosch. Ball, centre wing. Hawthorn 38. Collingwood 20. No goals. Early stages, second term. Howe, funny little wobbly kick. Gets to Hartung. Gets his head ripped off. Dives on top of the footy and out of Burgoyne. Gets Phillips in a tackle. You're not getting out of that. He doesn't. But the ball spills free. Hartung had a lot of time. In the end, just threw it in his boot in a hurry. Rough head, good in the first quarter. Gives it to Bruce, number 22. Always clever with the footy. No difference here. Gives it to Henderson from 25 directly in front. The Hawks have got another one, first of the term. Ricky Bobby Henderson. Hawthorn 7-2-44. Collingwood 3-2-20. All of a sudden out to a 4-goal game. 3:20 into the second term. Triple M Red Z Lending scoreboard. Red Z Lending Solutions.
He was pretty good last week, Henderson. Kicked 2 goals in the last quarter in what was a really good win for the Hawks. And that was a really nice finish. But once again, Roosie, as we spoke, they just found space. So they're just able to get through this Collingwood defence just far too easily. Their goals have been very, very comfortable.
Yeah, great hands by Ruffy. Took one out of mid-air, gave away a really nice slick handball to Bruce, I think it was. I think it was Ricky Henderson running off side bottom. So, again, the lack of commitment to defence by Collingwood is really costing them at the moment.
50th career goal to Ricky Henderson. Hawks lead by 4 goals. Nice bounce for McDonald's. Triple M Rocks footy. Grundy, beautiful tap down to Taylor Adams. Gives a handball off to side bottom. Lays a handball off to DeGoey. Works to half forward. Wobbles the ball inside. 50, Billy Elliott. With a big fly, but got nowhere near the ball. Still looked good though, Howie.
Holy moly.
Oh, he got sort of near it, Swatter.
Yeah.
Wasn't that far off.
Next postcode.
Would have been a serious hanger. Came down, went up so high, came down with white hair, Swatter. Now Sharmaker's got the ball. Defensive side of the wing. He's had a good first quarter. Drives it long. Big contested ball here. Duray brings it to ground. Langford been prevalent. They've got a man out. And it's Burgoyne. If he can get a handle on it, bounces just over his head. What can he do? Sean Burgoyne tries to get away from Greenwood. Grundy comes in, gives it straight back to Burgoyne. Danger here for the Pies, because this man can do anything. Gets away from one tackle, gives it to Duray. Quick snap. Out on the full. Yeah. What are you seeing, Duck?
Oh, gee, the Hawks had 3 players in the corridor. One was Mitchell, one was Ruffy. I'm not sure who the other one was, but they had 3 in the corridor, all by themselves. Hartung.
Yep. Triple M C-Bus Super Special comments. The King and the Zen Master award-winning super for the building and construction industry. What is the tackle count, please, Ash?
Yeah, Hawthorn +1, but they've had 36 more disposals.
Doing it nicely, the Hawks lead by 4 goals. Darcy Moore up with Sicily. Grundy stayed down, got a handle off to Phillips. Chiselling ball to Mason Cox. Good delivery. Takes the mark.
First touch, Swatter.
Yeah, he's working his way into it, Ash, with a kick that comes off the side of his boot and found Greenwood. He'll put it inside 50 for DeGoey.
DeGoey, gets a shocking bounce. Hawks need to be good to repel this one. Comes to Big Coxie. Snaffles it. In fact, it's Darcy Moore, not Cox. It was Moore who was running in towards a goal. 25 out, picked it up and rolled it across the ground and through. Hawthorn 7-2-44. Collingwood needed it at 4-2-26, and Moore gets his first.
Right place, right time. That's all that was.
Well,
Mistake, and just bobbed up, and Moore was in the right spot.
Billy Hartung, shocking fumble. He had it, just plumb dropped it, and you're right, just bounced up to Darcy Moore, and he kicked the goal. So
all on the Triple M Chemist Warehouse replay screen there, Roosie. Well described. Discover the new David Beckham fragrance. Respect at Chemist Warehouse, the real house of fragrances. They needed that one, the Pies. Back to an 18-point ball game. Nice bounce for McDonald's. Triple M Rocks footy. Grundy stayed down, got it to Adams. Went to ground, got a handball off the side bottom. Pumps a left foot ball. Billy Elliott locks onto it. It misses everybody. Sicily's got to be good. Tackle on Elliott was okay. Hawks through heavy traffic. Birchall worried out of it. Moore comes again, absorbs the tackle.
Thomas round the corner, high ball, good looking ball, just short, and Hodge, as always, ever dependable, marks it on his chest, about a metre out from goal.
They've done a good job with Jiraiya on Howe. Howe averages 9 marks. He's had 0 so far, so that's been a positive move from Alistair Clarkson.
Paul Roos picked it really early. Sicily takes a mark. Really aggressive kick down the line. It's a good one. Showmaker's dropped an absolute sitter, but it was such a good kick. He had that much space. He could butter up. Now Langford, AFL logo. Hawthorn players stream past him. Elects to just hold it up, goes short to Hartung. Tries to use his speed, gets himself into trouble. Gives it back towards Gunston. Hasn't had a great deal of it. His kick smothered. Made a bit of a mess of this, the Hawks, and opens the door for the Pies.
Good work by Broomhead. Couldn't find a handball target. Gunston, cheeky handball over the top to Langford. Courage! And it was shown on both players' occasions. Taylor Adams got a Hawkman high. And it's Bruce.
Well, it's got to be 50, doesn't it?
Describe what you saw, Ruzi.
Well, he marked the ball and then got an elbow to the melon. So watch it again on the Triple M Chemist Warehouse replay. So he's actually marked the football. He's marked the football and got hit in the head.
Triple M Chemist Warehouse replay screen. No 50. Boy. So Bruce inside to Hodge. Square. Heads out wide. Got a man free. It's old man Birchall who can run.
Does that around Cox. Took his man on. Slides it inside 50. Pies have got the answers. You've seen the incident on the Triple M Chemist Warehouse replay. Any concerns there for Taylor Adams?
Oh, they'll have a look at it. No doubt about that. Bruce got up, so that helps.
It does. Fazolo squirts it wide to Lyndon Dunn, who marks on his defensive 50 out of side, with his side trailing 44-26.
Time's the final game of this round getting underway, Ash.
That's 4:40, so what's that, 34 minutes away.
So the ball to the southern wing. Hawks force the turnover and men free. O'Brien can go short to Shields, who's had a bit of it.
He has. He's racked up 8 touches.
Showed a lot of candy, and Broomhead bought the lot. Bouncing ball inside 50. Duray hemmed him on the boundary line. Schoenmakers tries to sucker it off the ground. Completely missed it. And we'll have it tossed in.
I'll tell you what, the only thing keeping Collingwood in this game is Hawthorn mistakes at the moment. Because if Hawthorn move the ball and are able to hit their targets, Collingwood aren't going to be able to stop them because they've got no commitment at all to their defence.
The elbow of Taylor Adams hit Luke Bruce right in the Adams apple, but he's up and about, Lukey Bruce. Ball pushed forward from the Hawks down towards Duray. He's causing problems for the Pies. Tries to take on the tackler, somehow manages to get rid of it. Now Collingwood through to Goey to Trelaw. He opens it to the near side on the right boot. Really good contest out here. Fazolo, Burton. Fazolo needs to start his feet. Burton's got him. He's got him. Fazolo's now got rid of it. Burton doesn't know where the ball is. He laid it like a chicken and it rolled out the back of the hen house. Now it goes short. And it goes to Schoenmakers, who's been really good.
He has. It's a bit too easy here for Hawthorn, Ruzi. As Henderson takes the mark.
So. Like the forward stuck just leading up at will, aren't they?
Yep.
Any good kick is hitting an easy target.
18-point lead Hawthorn's way. Henderson kicked a goal in this quarter. Pumps it inside 50. Deep, loose ball. Bruce overruns the ball. Gunston's there. Deep pocket action for the Hawks. A good tackle on Bruce again by the Magpies, including Lyndon Dunn, and we'll have it tossed in, or tossed up, 30 out from Hawthorn's goal. 18-point lead their way.
10-20 into the second quarter. Earlier on today, Brisbane got the job done over Essendon after Essendon led by 19 points at three-quarter time. And Jeff Horn beat Manny Pacquiao in a unanimous decision up in Brisbane. Now there's a chance for O'Brien. Farms off a little hand pass towards Smith. He's immediately tackled as he took possession. Collingwood defenders working hard. Now Adams is going to be run down. Just managed to get boot the ball. Comes back toward Brand. He'll pump it again inside 50 towards Langford. Howe flies early. Opens the door for Langford. He's tight on the pocket. Little hand pass to Bruce. He's going at 1,000,000 miles an hour but can't get rid of the footy. Still Collingwood under pressure through Grundy, and Howe with a rare possession this afternoon goes short, and it's a good one.
Did that really well, actually, Collingwood. Taylor Adams has got it. What's he at, Ash?
12 touches.
Not his best kick. Hawthorn may get it back. They do. They're not doing themselves any favours here, Collingwood. Brand takes the mark. He'll square the ball to Sicily. He looks to be playing a defensive role. Just punches the ball inside the square, and Henderson's there.
Henderson streaming through the middle of the MCG, takes a bounce. Collingwood players run off him. Henderson unloads from a long way from home, and not his best effort out on the full. She was afforded some space, though, and the Pies will bring it back in.
Yeah, there's a lot of space. Uncontested marks already this quarter. Hawthorn 16, Collingwood 4.
Yeah.
Pendlebury's numbers.
Pendlebury for Bosch Tools, only 7 possessions.
Lyndon Dunn will engage heavily over the top with Mason Cox. Loose ball, Dunn stayed down. Good releasing handball, got it to the Faz. He'll just dart the ball on the 45 to Pendlebury. He waits and watches and then delivers. It's a bad kick, a rare mistake from the skipper.
The Hawks through Howe, can't manage to take advantage though. Now Collingwood, centre of the ground, side bottom, tells the forwards where to leave and then puts it way out in front of Greenwood. Tracks back, Sicily's on his hammer, comes inboard to Pendlebury. Good thinking football by Levi Greenwood. And Scott, or as our man Chew calls him, Scont Pendlebury, in game number 250, will have a shot. Oh, it was one of the great disasters of radio, Roosie. Before your time, we sent the Chew man down to interview Scott. He said, well, Scont. And that was pretty much the end of the interview.
Still remember it like yesterday, Howie, unfortunately.
One of Scott's highlights in game 250, that one.
He's not a very high-profile player, so it's understandable to get his name wrong.
What can he do, this man, Pendlebury? From about 45, pretty good at everything in this game, let's be honest. Lays back on it a little bit and goes across the face, and it just sneaks through for one behind. Hawthorn 44, Collingwood 26. Triple M Red Z lending scoreboard. In fact, Collingwood now 4-3-27 with that behind.
So Mason Cox, who came in for the out-of-form Ben Reid, what's his Bosch Tool stat sheet looking like?
1 kick and 1 mark.
Nice mark by Heatherly. Did he play on? He did. Gave a handball off to Billy Boy Hartug. Tips the ball over the top to Tommy Mitchell.
Disposal number 17.
Oh, dearie me. So he's had, combined the last 6 quarters almost, Ash? He's had 67 touches.
Spot on.
I reckon you go to him, don't you?
What are his metres gained, Two-Man?
Yeah, metres gained for Bosch Tools. Come back to you shortly.
Hardwick to Sicily. Likes the aggressive kick, this man, but this time goes by hand to Gunston. He spreads it to the outer side. Now Hodge. Just goes a little massager down to Burton. He's under pressure immediately from Hoskin Elliott. Didn't realise he was there. And Hoskin Elliott's going to be rewarded with a free kick.
Good tackle, good pressure. Bit more of that for the Pies if they're to get themselves back into the game. They only trail at the moment by, what's that, 17 points, Jim?
Yep.
Pendlebury lifting, delivering. Mason Cox will come with a big leap and takes it. He always had the advantage there against Sicily. And Mason Cox to go back and line up for his first goal today.
Well, it was a really good kick by Pendlebury. We saw him butcher a ball a minute ago through the middle of the ground, then a bad shot at goal. But that one, that was like the Scott Pendlebury we know. Just put it up, knew that Cox was... they got the 2-on-1 in the end, and Fasolo was able to ground Sicily. Therefore, Cox could jump over the top.
Needs to kick the goal, Mason Cox. Punt road in, caresses it through. And the big American gets their second goal of the term. Back-to-back goals for the Pies. It's 11-point bowl game, 33-44. Hawthorn's lead, 15 gone. Second term, Triple M Red Z lending scoreboard.
It was interesting, wasn't it? Fasolo was by himself there, Duck. So Sicily sort of had to make a decision to go. He thought Pendlebury was going to Fasolo with the kick. So he sort of went and then got caught under the high ball. And Mason Cox is about 6'11". So once Sicily got engaged by Fasolo, it's a pretty easy mark from Cox. And look, that's what he's there to do. And you know, he's provided a target. That'll give him some confidence and also gives the players up the ground confidence. What I liked about that kick, Duck, as you said, it was a weighted kick. It wasn't just sat on his head.
Bob Jane teammate, Sarah Fayor.
The club doctors were closely assessing Bruce's left ankle, but he's just run back on the field.
Great works there. Burgoyne trying to get a possession out of the middle of the ground. Worries a couple of Pies off it. Gets a little hand pass. Now Birchall spreads it wide at Gunston. Takes on the tackler. Crisp does well. Now takes a bounce. A funny little bounce. Birchall picked up the bounce. You don't see that very often. One player bouncing it, another picking it up. Hoskin Elliott plays on. He's caught in a tackle. So Shields now with the Hawks driving it forward. O'Brien should take the mark and does. Tim O'Brien, he's pretty good at the set shots. This will take his best, though, from about 40 out. He's only 2 metres inside the boundary line. He wants to play on, goes short. Not a good effort. He went short to Gunston. The Pies are awake to it, and that was a wasted opportunity for the Hawks. And it's punched across the boundary line.
Both sides are making some really, really, really basic errors today.
Triple M C-Bus super special comments. Wayne Carey, Paul Roos. And in the middle of them, the best in the business, the two-man. 11-point lead to the Hawks. Bouncing ball. Smith flicked a handball over the top. Got it towards Mitchell. Mitchell pushed off the line by DeGoey. Smith went back. Got it again. All just inside the field of play. Greenwood did well. Handball. Adams delivers towards Elliott. Hawks do well. It was a good mark by Burton.
A really good mark. Diving and under pressure. Back to Hodge. He's just playing that quarterback role. The Hawks looking to come to the near side. Options in the centre. And in the end, Howe goes to the outer side from whence it came. It's a good kick. Now, Burton loads up on the right foot. And a good long ball it is. But it lands on the chest of Chris. That was a little bit too easy. And the Magpies will repel another thrust. McDonald's Despicable Me 3 family box. Hawthorn 44, Collingwood 33.
2-1 in this quarter. Langdon got the kick from Maynard. Delivers the ball down the line just over the head of Greenwood. Pitches just inside the boundary line. And we'll have it tossed in as Grundy and Thomas wait to come back on.
Nice crowd, plenty in the upper deck tonight, Chew.
We might be nudging close to 60,000 perhaps, Howie.
I think you might be right. We're set to get underway again. Darcy Moore having a run in the ruck. He throws McAvoy out of the contest and will go the way of McAvoy. Big strong boy. Got a few kilos you'd imagine on Darcy Moore. McAvoy weighing 102 kegs. And Darcy Moore coming in at 98 kegs. Born out of the outer side. Nicely transitioned by the Hawks. Sicily is called to play on. He goes to Caden Brand, who's got it on the defensive side of the square. And he comes all the way back to Mitchell for number
18.
Triple M Bosch dual stats.
What's he averaging this year, Tommy?
Yeah, Tommy Mitchell, 36 touches, Swatter.
McAvoy looped a handball over the top. Nice kick from Howe. Delivered a beautiful ball to Bruce. 55 from home. A lot of players inside the forward 50 now for the Hawks. Bruce off a step. Ruff will come late. Didn't get there. Kept it alive. Burgoyne stepped through traffic. Somehow found a gap that just wasn't there, but Pendlebury got in the way. No, it was Maynard. Got a handball to Langdon. Laid it off the side bottom. Just caresses a little left foot chiseler. And he found his man.
Broomhead was the man. Howe stands the mark. Broomhead. Commentary side right where the arc of the 50 meets the boundary line. He's being forced back. Well done by Howe. And he's forced to take a really aggressive kick, but it was a good one. True centre half back to DeGoey. He plays on. This is good from the Pies. Immediately goes to Thomas. They've got to the outer side of the ground. DeGoey, shocking hand pass. Missed his man, but they had that much space. Phillips was able to whip back. Gee, they could make a meal of this. Gold sack. Thomas, what can he do this time by foot? That's a little bit better. And DeGoey has got it just forward to the wing outer side.
What's happening in this term? Bosch tools, Ash?
Those uncontested marks of the Hawks, 32-13 this quarter, and they're tracking at 78% by foot.
So 11-point lead Hawthorn's way. Pendlebury's getting busy.
He is. He's now up to 10 touches.
And the skipper will arc around and just put the ball into the hot zone towards the edge of the goal square. Cox is there. Roughhead arrived late, was it? No mark paid. No, it was McAvoy. Handball off the side bottom. Left foot kick round the corner. I think the Pies have got 3 in a row. They have. All class side bottom. Game on. 5-point lead Hawthorn's way now. 7-2-44. Collingwood 6-3-39. 20 gone. Second term Triple M Red Z lending scoreboard.
Well, that's that predictability that we're talking about, Roosie, before the game with Cox being there. They just the long kick. They get the contest side bottom front and square, and just so classy on both sides of his body. One of the best left foot kicks in the game.
The Hawks are all complaining about something their defenders, whether there was a contest off the footy. We'll have a look at it on the Triple M Chemist Warehouse replay now.
Well, they believe McAvoy marked it. They're absolutely 100% right. He did mark it.
Yeah, and then Fazoli just gripped it out of his hands. He had the first, second, third and fourth touch.
Yeah.
That was just a clear mark.
Perfect mark, exactly.
Triple M Chemist Warehouse replay. Nevertheless, the goals in the book for the Pies, and well done to them. They're back in this after kicking the last 3 goals. What was the game high, Chiopolo?
Yeah, Bosch tool stats, game high in favour of the Hawks. Howie by 24 points.
Okay, it's back to a 5-point margin now. The Hawks kicked the first of the turn through Henderson, then Moore, Cox and side bottom. And now the Pies, they're looking to go in at half time. In front of this game, the Hawks a little bit lax across their defensive 50. Elliott picks up the footy. He might be done here for holding the ball. He is. And there was a good tackle by the Hawks, and immediately they play on to Sicily.
Got some time. Chips the ball to Henderson. Just repeat the Brisbane win.
Brisbane defeated the Bombers by 8 points, Swatter, after Essendon led by 19 at three-quarter time.
Henderson will retreat back inside his defensive 50. And it goes to Brand. It's a wobbly ball. Dangerous chaos ball for Hawthorn now.
Hodge fell to the ground trying to keep the ball alive. He gets a little bit of support now. Good enough to work their way out of that. The Hawks just. Gunston on a strong lead. Centre wing. Plays on by foot. Now to Bruce. Hasn't had a great deal of it inside 50. Goes further to Billy Hartung. Now this is where Billy's got to use the ball well. Not often his strong suit. Goes inside 50. It's a good build-up. Duray marks out of side. 2 metres inside the boundary. 50 from home. Plays on straight away on the left foot. Down towards Roughhead. Side bottom. Roughhead. A little bit taller. Well done by side bottom. Did really well to bring that to ground after Roughhead reached over the top. And Howe rushes it through from behind. Collingwood at 39, Hawthorn at 45, and the Pies have already played on out of full back.
Yeah, great effort. One-on-one battle, and Roughhead didn't win it. He's only had one possession this quarter, Ruffy, so normally double up that contested mark.
Triple M Bus Super special comments. Premiership coach Paul Roos. Adams gets away from a lunging Roughhead. Heads out wide. Hoskin Elliott getting a bit of the pill now.
10 touches.
Takes the mark, half back, edge of the square.
Starting to spread the Hawks a little bit now, the Pies, and doing it well. Kicked the last 3 goals of the game. Getting a bit more aggressive. Phillips drops a pretty easy one in the middle, but he's got time to play on. But as a result, he had to force his kick in a hurry. Kicked it straight to the Hawks. Brand, he's got a couple of options. Howe can't take the mark. Big fist from Greenwood, and it's across the boundary line right in front of Sarah Fayor as Birchwood comes off and Langford comes on. Hawthorn 7-3-45, Collingwood 6-3-39. Triple M Red Z lending scoreboard, just under 3 on the clock before the major break.
Biggest lead of the game, 24 points.
Yeah, spot on, early stages into this quarter.
Yeah, when Henderson kicked his first at the 3-minute mark. Since then, Collingwood bang, bang, bang. Got it back to a manageable 6-point deficit. Roughhead off his shoes at broadcast wing. Maynard's there, likes a scrap. Dunn's there to put some pressure on Billy Hartung. Loose ball. Howe bangs into side bottom. Handball Trelaw wants to give it back. Not sure. Chips it over the top. Hoskin Elliott again.
Defensive point of the square. Plays on by hand to DeGoey. Really measures it on the right boot and does well. Pies through Thomas towards Pendlebury. He's 50 from home. Could have the shot himself. Really clever to get a hand pass to Phillips, who kicks from 35 on the snap. And he's kicked it. It was a good finish, but it was a wonderful hand pass from Pendlebury. Phillips gets his first, and the Pies have squared it up 7-3-45 apiece. 24 in the second quarter on the Triple M Red Z lending scoreboard.
Yeah, what are the goals from turnovers too, man? Because all of a sudden the Hawks just starting to make some errors and Collingwood making them pay.
Yeah, Bosch tool stats, 7 goals to the Magpies, so 7 out of their 7, all from Hawthorn turnovers.
There you go.
It's amazing, isn't it? It's sort of a predictable Hawthorn game, isn't it? They can hang on to the ball by foot and able to chip it round. They score. If they're turning it over and just poor kicks, poor handballs, then they just get slaughtered on the outside with their run, don't they?
And they were a side that once never made those mistakes.
That's right.
Now they're not as accomplished in that area, so Collingwood taking full benefit from that.
All square after the Pies have banged on the last 4 goals after trailing by 4 goals. Bruce Shields, I should say, chipping ball round the corner towards Burgoyne. He engages with Lyndon Dunn. Dunn will have another crack. Got a good tackle on Duray. Hawks get it over the top. It's Bruce, flicked it to Burgoyne, the Iceman. Smart kicks. That was like a little lock wedge, edge of the green, chipped it over the top of the elevated Pies defender. There's nothing this man can't do, Roosy. I kid you not. Have a look at that on the Triple M Chemist Warehouse replay. Hawks by 6 points.
Yeah, it was out of the bunker, the 60-degree, wasn't it? Just lobbing it on the... I hit one of them the other day against Masson. I was very happy with it too. Very unusual, Two-Man, I must say, that I'm able to master that club. But I suspect Burgoyne could master pretty much every club. So, yeah, I mean, it's sort of a scrappy goal, but certainly a goal they needed. One of the few times they've sort of got it in their forward line not in a kick sense. It's just an ugly ball, and then a good smart tap on. Was that Gunston who tapped the ball on?
Yeah, it was.
It was like the goalkeeper was off his line, and Burgoyne just lobbed him. Smart play. Just to throw a different sporting analogy in there. For McDonald's, Triple M rocks football. The Hawks lead by that goal from Burgoyne. Into the middle of the ground they go. Mitchell, possession number
19.
Bombs it long inside 50. Pies are in the van. Howe flies, but he doesn't take the mark. Les Duray, and Duray will let him know about this if he kicks it. He does, and you wait to see Taylor Duray go straight to Howe. He's kicked 2, and that's exactly what he does, and the Pies don't like it. You normally expect Howe to take that. For everyone else, it's a really good mark. For Howe, it's a pretty simple mark, and Duray's got 2. The Hawks 57, Collingwood 45. Triple M Red Z lending scoreboard.
If you want to see a team roll, I mean, this is what Taylor Duray's prepared to do today. And he's actually getting some really good reward for it, because his role is to play on Jeremy Howe. Howe normally marks that. He actually just got his body in there. Howe dropped the mark, and Duray was up quicker, and he's wandering over. letting him know, but Lyndon Dunn stepped in and helped his old teammate and current teammate, said to leave him alone, Taylor. But a really good team role at the moment, Duck.
Yeah, in the end, Goldsack probably came across and spoiled Howe, but Geray, 2 goals, PB.
There you go. Triple MC Bus Super Special comments. Paul Roos, Wayne Kerry. Let's go downstairs. Bob Jane teammates. Sarah.
Yeah, I'm staring right at Ben McAvoy. There's a lot of blood gushing out of his nose, so he'll have that plugged up.
For McDonald's, Triple M Rocks footy. Hawks have got a 2-goal lead just before half-time. Collingwood on the charge. Greenwood round the corner. Not good delivery for Mason Cox. Ball goes out of bounds, so that's okay for Collingwood. With 1:14 to play, they'll reset, reload, throw in half forward where the 50-metre line intersects the boundary line. Northern side, punt road end, they trail by 12.
Umpire right on that intersection of the 50 and the boundary line. Members side, Hawthorn 57, Collingwood 45. They kick the last 2 to break a run of 4 Collingwood goals. Trelaw applies the tackle and it's adjudicated as high, and it's going the way of the man they call Pup, Liam Shields.
Just tips the ball out wide to Billy Hartung. Which players can offer their team a lift in the second half after quiet opening halves, please, Ash?
Yeah, definitely for the Hawks. Isaac Smith, 7 possessions, only 2 in this quarter. As Ruzi said, Roughhead down in this term as well, only the 1 disposal.
Birchall drops it long. Grundy comes. Loose ball to go. He fires a handball back to Howe.
Shocking kick, puts it straight on the chest of Hodge with 35 seconds on the clock. The time for the Hawks to mount another forward charge. They lead by 2 goals. Hodge sets Roughhead a task. Again, got 2 hands to it, and again you'd expect him to take it, but the mark spills free. Now there's a chance for the Pies. Late in the quarter, Trelaw, clever little hand pass into Langdon. Now Broomhead, crisp into the middle of the ground to go. He steps one way. Can he hit a target inside 50 towards Mason Cox? He has. Cox will have a kick up the siren to narrow the margin to a straight kick. And the big man from the United States of America, in fact, he's out of Oklahoma State University, will have a shot for his second from 30 with no great angle.
Big Mason did a little roly-poly after he took the mark too.
A little roly-poly, did he, Ducky?
A little roly-poly. Tried to make the mark a little more spectacular than
I
what
see.
it was.
That's what you're getting at. Always a big fan of those that come to the game from unusual circumstances, the Duck. Always very supportive of them.
Look at the Chemist Warehouse replay. He did a little...
a little sort of Nadia Comaneci roll there. Mason Cox after the siren, no problem. Kicks for goal really well. And a good finish. Cox had a good turn. He kicked 2 goals. Entertaining footy. Half-time here. Hawthorn led by 18 points. At the quarter-time break, the Pies got it back to square with a run of 4 goals. The Hawks answered, then so did Mason Cox. Jeff Horn beat Manny Pacquiao earlier on today. Brisbane beat Essendon. St Kilda, they take on
the Dockers, Fremantle v St Kilda, 4:40, only 13 minutes away.
Okay, Chewy. Hawthorn 9-3-57, Collingwood 8-3-51. The Hawks lead by a straight kick. McDonald's, Triple M, Rocks football. Hawks run out on the ground, as do the Pies. Hawthorn 9-3-57, Collingwood 8-3-51. The Hawks lead by a straight kick. Mason Cox kicked 2 in the second term. And for the Hawks, Ryan Shaw makes kick 2 in the first quarter. Mark Howe with you, Wayne Carey. The boys have torn this game apart, told you everything you need to know. So we'll just quickly turn our attention to the big fight up in Bris Vegas, Duck. A big performance by Jeff Horn. You watched a fair bit of it. Pacquiao was very gracious in defeat and said he'd be back for a rematch.
Yeah, he did, Howie. And a few, as usual, a few people are questioning the decision.
Oh, really? Boxing?
And all that sort of stuff. But we had our eye on it in the background, and it looked to be a pretty good, even fight. And well done to the young man. Horn, very, very humble, gracious man is Horn, and as is Pacquiao. And, he said there's going to be a rematch. So I'm assuming, he said he's coming back to Australia, so I'm assuming it'll be in a different city. I wouldn't think they'd go back to Bris Vegas.
No, you wouldn't think so.
So, well done. Well done to the young man. Very, very happy to see a young Aussie doing well.
Yeah, my word. Geez, obviously a tough caper, but he looked, in the post-fight interview, he looked absolutely smack duck. He had black eyes, he had bruises, he had cuts, and this is the man that won the fight.
Yeah, exactly.
Tough
That's
caper.
called boxing, Howie.
No, thanks for that, Duck. I really appreciate your insight into that particular discussion.
It's called boxing, Howie.
get stuff, Roosie. Don't you come here.
Well, that's what...
I thought that was a very insightful comment from
Well, that's
Duck.
what happens in boxing, how you...
Basically, we're
What's
just
the
trying
object of boxing again, Duck?
Well, you hit one another.
I'm just trying to sort of fill a bit of time before the bounce, and Duck's rolling
You
out that
hit one
time.
another and try and hit him in the head and give him a black eye, basically.
What are you having, a little hot chocolate or something there?
A
are you,
little
Roosie?
mocha there.
A little mocha.
A
And
combination of the cappuccino and the hot chocolate.
a really nice win too by the Brisbane Lions, and great to see their coach showing a real excitement on the Triple M Chemist
Tell you
Warehouse.
what a marvellous season. You can't say it often enough. What a great year.
Yep.
So many upsets, so many close games. Well done to Brisbane. They've played some pretty exciting footy at stages this year, Harry, and against a team that's in pretty good form. So well done, Brisbane.
That's it. And if you just missed it, the Boxers got hit a fair bit and weren't in the best shape. For McDonald's, Triple M Rocks Football, the new Despicable Me 3 family box is now available at Macca's. Made for sharing, made for family. The Hawks looking to get an early exit out of the centre. McAvoy will be the man to do that. Slides a little ball forward. Gunston hits it with speed. Now comes to Isaac Smith. Had a pretty quiet first term. Can't get a kick towards goal. Dishes off a hand pass. And the man he dished it to was absolutely hammered, Ricky Henderson, by Tyson Goldsack. And the umpire will toss the ball up about 40 out from goal as Wayne Schwash comes in after a couple of bickies and a little soy mocha decaf Schwatter latte, and he's ready to go.
Thanks, Howie. Ball is congested, wrapped up.
What, you got another little soup or?
No, just a couple of cookies. So we're underway over in the West Ash.
We are. Dockers by 7 points over the Saints at 6 minutes in.
Charging away with 3 bounces of the pill. Trelaw, not a good handball though. DeGoey did really well. Got a man out wide. Maynard onto his left shoe. Goes deep. Look at the speed of Mason Cox, Rosie. Got the speed.
Probably not the area you want to put it, though, at his knees, Swatter, is it?
No, didn't do him any favours.
He's actually a very good athlete.
Made up good ground, Mason Cox.
Just having a look at the Chemist Warehouse replay screen. Got both hands to it. Just didn't quite know whether to take that one on the chest or in the hands, and muffed it.
He did. I told you, it's his favourite go-to expression, Muff. Now, he's got it about 30 from home. I should have said on the end of that shorter. And the ball we tossed up 30 out from the Collingwood goals. Hawthorn 9-3-57. Collingwood 8-3-51 on the Triple M McDonald's scoreboard. I think you better take over here, Schwatter.
Righto, where are we? We're inside the forward 50 for the Pies. Burgoyne, good tackle on him by Thomas. Top of the goal square. Hawthorn under some early heat. They lead by 6 points. Good tackling pressure from the Pies. DeGoey, throw up. 30 out from Collingwood's goal. What's Trelaw's numbers for Bosch Tools, please, Ash?
He's had 16 touches.
Been pretty good as the boy. And a loose ball. Here comes Thomas. Got a handball up to Billy Elliott. Loops a handball out to Lyndon Dunn. Wrong side for the right footer. High ball. It's really high. Hawks underneath it. It may have been Brand. It was. Ball goes off the hands. We'll have it tossed in.
DeGoey's had a big game too, hasn't he? Let's see. Yeah,
19 touches and his PB's 25.
What's Mitchell at on the Triple M Bosch Tool stat sheet?
19, 13 the first, only 6 in the second.
Okay. McAvoy down towards Mitchell. He's now got 20. He belts it out of his defensive 50. Really good mark. Wonderful mark by Howe. Giret's got the job on him. A couple of goals in the first half. Taylor Giret. Howe pivots one inside 50. Got to go a little bit quicker than he expected. Burst through his hands. And now the number 22 steel side bottom has taken it across the boundary line. The umpire will toss it in.
Earlier today,
it was Brisbane by 8 points over the Bombers.
And right now in WA.
Yeah, we've got the Dockers by 6 over St Kilda. Early stages, first quarter.
Hawks by 6. Mitchell is gang tackled by DeGoey. Ball spills free. Hodge got a handball off to Sicily. Wobbly ball. Bounces inside the square and charging after it is the sack.
Goldsack with a lot of space and time. Bends around the corner for Zolo. Leading up the ground today. Taking a lot of marks out in the wing. Where he takes this one. Roughhead had a pretty quiet second term, stands the mark, back to Goldsack. Gunston hustles the mark, and the Pies through Crisp have got it across half back. They continue to spread it to the outer side, and this is a good patient build up by the Pies. Now to Phillips on the outer wing. He goes back to Maynard. Maynard looks for options. He's side trail by a straight kick. Early stages of the second half. Real patient build up. Almost getting to the point it's boring. And now comes to Hoskin Elliott on the wing, sends it forward to Fazolo.
Yep, good work by the Magpies, just maintaining the ball. Fazolo, right half forward, 65 from home, punches it, Mason Cox, got it. Well, we debated the merits of him coming in for Ben Reid, but if he kicks this, Roosie, he's validated the selection.
Yeah, I think both Duck and I were supportive of him coming in because it gives you a point of reference. I guess the debate's always how many tools you have up there. But look, it's very hard with the rules are today where you can't chop the arms, no hands in the back. A bloke's 6'11", 7 foot. When he puts his hands in the air, it's very, very hard to stop him, Duck.
Yeah, it sure is. And that was a good mark in front of the pack.
For
with
three.
the pack bearing down on him.
For three. He squeezed it through, and he's pretty happy with it. And why wouldn't he be? He's locked it away again. 9-3-57 apiece. 5 played. Third term. Triple M Exetel scoreboard, and I think he might be one shy of his career best, please, Ashley.
Exactly right. It's what, 4 majors is his career high. 3, as you mentioned, right now.
The Hawks are in him too. Caden Brand is trying to reach up to give him a push around the sternum. And Big Meso's not too concerned about that because he's got 3 in the bag.
Yeah, no, well done to Mason Cox because he got an opportunity. The one thing he does do, Roosie, he's a very good finisher.
Yeah, he is.
Kicks the ball really straight. Not a big, long kick, but when he's within that 40-metre radius, he's very, very accurate. And good to see him stick up for himself. And Hawks boys, bit of push and shove. How about just spoil the ball, boys?
I agree, yes.
Baggy panted operator, Mason Cox. Langford just sort of knees it forward. Now we get another opportunity at Langford, son of a gun. Beautiful kick inside 50. That's impossible to stop for defenders, and Roughhead marks 45 out directly in front.
Now that's the one thing that Hawthorn have been able to do today. A lot of their goals they've been easy, Roosie, haven't they?
Yeah.
They've gone inside 50, and that was another case of that. Just really a lot of time and space to use the footy.
Quite a beard the Rough's got going now. Normally a good kick.
Very close.
Really close to the mark. And the umpire's called it back. And he said that the player's gone over the mark, and Roughhead will get a resultant free kick from directly in front. Well, he did kick into the man on the mark, which was Lyndon Dunn, and the umpire straight away said, no, you've crept over the mark. Roughhead plays on, kicks the goal. Hawks get out to a 1-goal lead again. Hawthorn 10-3-63. Collingwood 9-3-57. Triple M Exetel scoreboard. Exetel NBN, the speed you need.
Yeah, scores from centre clearances, 4 goals to 0. So that's where the Hawks are keeping the scoreboard ticking along with their uncontested marks. But there was a cracking tackle in the middle of the ground. I can't remember which Hawthorn player it was. It looked like the Pies were out. Really good tackle. And then, as you said, Duck, that's the ease of which Hawthorn have been able to kick their goals is quite extraordinary.
Here we go.
I think he's saying he jumped over the mark, Swatter.
Yep.
So he was on the mark, and when he jumped
jumped
over the mark
His
and jumped
problem was
forward.
that he marked the mark on the MCG, Lyndon Dunn, I think.
For McDonald's, Triple M Rocks footy, Geray doing a really good number on Jeremy Howe at the moment. Mitchell,
21.
Billy Hartung gives a handball over to his teammate Burton. Back to Billy Hartung. Chipping ball is not good. Crisp will take the mark, Northern wing.
Crisp goes into the AFL logo, finds Grundy immediately by hand to Adams. This is good by Collingwood. They're running through the middle of the ground now to Goey. He's gotten out. And way out there, Maynard onto the left foot. Finds Steele side bottom. 2 kicks from home.
Just chip it around the corner. Oh, look at the delivery to Mason Cox. He needs a kind bounce. He got that. Heatherly got him in a good tackle. Good battle. The boy from New Zealand taking on the boy from the States. International football on display.
So Collingwood kicked the opening goal of the term. Mason Cox is third. Roughhead quickly responded. Hawthorn lead by 1 straight kick. Near map aerial imagery around the grounds.
It's tied up 1-2-8 apiece between St Kilda and the Dockers halfway into the first.
That's in Perth, is it, Chew?
Spot on, Howie.
Big fly from Darcy Moore. Falls to Mason Cox outside of the boot. What a real fancy little check side. Bounced across the face of goals. Not a bad result. It'll be tossed in. 10 round from the Pies. Goals deep in attack.
57-63. Hawks lead. 9 played. Time in forward half this term seems to be weighted Collingwood's way, Ash.
Yeah, Bosch Tool stats, it is 67%.
Umpire throws it back in. Grundy will get there late, takes it out of the ruck, then lost a handle on it. Probably not a bad result. He'll go again, pushed off the line by O'Brien. Top of the Hawks defensive goal square. They got a problem? No. Thrower. Top of the goal square for the Pies. They trail by a goal.
Tim O'Brien had on the Triple M Bosch Tool stat sheet.
7 possessions, 3 marks, scoreless.
A bit of time down back. O'Brien in the ruck now against Cox. He manages to get it down towards one of the Pies who just snaps over his shoulder. It's through for one behind. That was off the boot of side bottom. Hawthorn a 63, Collingwood a 58 on the Triple M Exetel scoreboard.
So both teams looking for their 6th win of the year. And where would that happen? 2 games out of the O-Dash?
Yeah, what it means is exactly right. 2 games outside, the loser, their season pretty much cooked.
Right in the bump, Thomas handball, nice to the pig. Greenwood puts it inside 50 for Solo. Moore's there, gathers, kicks, Collingwood. No, missed by a point. A little bit of barracking going on in the back row up there. Not sure who that came from, but anyway, we'll work that out. 4-point lead, Hawthorn's way.
You want me to tell you who it was from?
MJ?
Correct.
Oh, dear.
Now, a real one-eyed Collingwood producer. He's got some real tendencies in that sort of Collingwood setup as well. Hodge has got the ball from fullback to bring it back in. I like to be impartial in this box, MJ.
Oh, I tell you.
Drives it in the centre of the MCG. O'Brien can't take the mark. Really important contested ball to be won. Good tap on by Gunston. Gunston gets it again, but his kick is quickly chopped off by the Pies. Called to play on, working across their defensive 50. They spread it out wide and find Hoskin Elliott. Inside trail by 4 points. The former Giant, bad kick, gives Gunston an opportunity. Now Showmakers, he's got a man on. That's Roughhead. Rough takes the mark, could have played on, but goes back from 40. Wants to play on now. I'm not sure about the kick. Really opens the door, made a mess of that. And Phillips chops it off. Why Roughhead didn't have a shot, I'm not sure. He's got another chance here, Roughhead. Spoils what looked like a mark. Roughhead could make up with it. By hands, kick it, goal. One behind. Mistakes galore. Duray missed an attempt for his 3rd. Hawthorn 64, Collingwood 59. Triple M Exetel scoreboard.
Lucky to get away with that there, Collingwood. Maynard straight up the height. Little. What about that bullet? Got it to DeGoey. Adams. Oh, hard work here. Collingwood making a mess of it. They get it free, though. Now a man running forward through the middle of the ground. It's DeGoey. Got past a couple of Hawks. Puts it inside 50. Darcy Moore over the top for Solo front and square. Beautiful roving. Kick on goal is wide to the far side again. 60-64. End-to-end footy. 12 played. Hawthorn lead. Triple M Exetel scoreboard. Exetel in the end. The speed you need.
Hawks playing on from fullback. Burton switches to the outer side. Loads up. Geez, a beautiful kick of the footy. That's a 60-metre drop punt to the outer side. Gunston brings it to ground. Bruce, he gets legged. And he'll get the resulting free kick on the outer wing. Near map aerial imagery around the grounds.
St Kilda by 1 point over the Dockers, deep into the first quarter.
The Hawks now sprinting through the middle of the ground. They're slightly held up. Back to Hodge. Usually pretty good. It's by hand to Burton. Henderson can't take a clear possession. Gives it to DeGoey. Now Taylor Adams, what can he do? Scissors it forward to Fazolo. Fazolo takes a bounce. Fazolo from 35. Fazolo from 30. Fazolo from 20. Fazolo goal. Pies in front. Fasolo's got his first. Collingwood 10-6-66 off the boot of Alex Fasolo. Hawthorn 10-4-64. The Pies by 2 points on your Triple M Exetel scoreboard.
Yeah, they've just been able to control the game in this quarter at Collingwood. We talk about Hawthorn and their uncontested marks in the first half. Well, in this quarter, Collingwood 15 uncontested marks, Hawthorn 3. So just control the footy, and they're making them, getting opportunities forward now and putting them through the big sticks.
2 point lead to the Magpies. Doug and Roosie, Triple M Seabus Super Special comments.
Yeah, goals from turnovers, too, man. What's
10 goals to the
10
Magpies.
Goals
so
out of how many?
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. So once again, Hawthorn not controlling the ball, and Collingwood will score.
Pendlebury. No, it was. And Treloar, another disposal. Phillips couldn't feed the handball through heavy Hawthorn traffic inside the square. Mitchell.
22.
23, got it back from McAvoy, gave a handball off to Roughhead, flicked the handball, nice pick up and gather, but a turnover again from the Hawks, chipping in his golden sack.
Who's doing well this quarter, Stu?
DeGoey, he's had 6. He's the number 1 ranked player on the ground. 25 touches, which is an equal PB for him.
Triple M Bosch tool stats. Bosch power tools. Control your power tools through your smartphone with Bosch's connected range. Meanwhile, the Hawks have almost managed a turnover. Now Collingwood's got it back. Contested ball. Outer wing. Chasing it hard over the AFL logo as Phillips comes back in board. Kicks it straight to Taylor Duray. And you're seeing why both these teams have only won 5 games this season. Down towards Luke Bruce. Mistakes galore in this quarter. Bruce, can he spot someone inside 50? He can. O'Brien takes the mark, and Tim O'Brien can have his first shot for the afternoon from about 50 on a 45-degree angle.
Yeah, a lot of mistakes, Howie, as you mentioned. And it really comes back to if Hawthorn can control it as they did there with Bruce, they're getting another easy scoring shot. Good kick from Bruce. If they're not hitting their targets, then Collingwood have kicked 10 out of 10 of their 10 goals from turnovers.
Pretty good kick for goal, Tim O'Brien. He's kicked 7 goals this season. He's kicked 12 goals this season from 7 matches. O'Brien gets very close to the man on the mark, and it's through for a behind. Collingwood 66, Hawthorn 65. Bob Jane T-Marts, the tyre and wheel specialist, Sarah Fayor.
Yeah, Kurt Heatherly's just on the bench at the moment having his right quad taped. He, of course, was a late inclusion for Ben Stratton.
Good work set. Lyndon Dunn, a risky ball. Side bottom's got to be good. He was okay. Grundy does the mopping up. Oh, nicely worked out. Side bottom, quick kick round the corner. Greenwood lost his wheels. Get into Bob Jane T-Marts. Hawthorn through Burton, reload.
Really good pick up on the run by Sicily. Did well and gives the Hawks another opportunity to Burgoyne. Hasn't had a great deal of it, Sean Burgoyne.
12 touches.
Doesn't need many, though, to really hurt you. Now Howe. Oh, just tries to chip it round the corner. Kicks it straight to Langdon, and the ball goes across the boundary line out of side. McDonald's, the new Despicable Me 3 family box, is now available at Macca's. Made for sharing, made for family. There's those little minion operators.
Yep.
Schwatter.
That's it. I'm led to believe they're working on a McBarry in honour of the great man. He loves the McDonald's. He's the product tester before it even hits the market.
It'll be a big burger.
Oh, it would be massive. Triple everything. Not good for the cholesterol. Hawthorn get it inside 50. Lyndon Dunn was good and strong and went down low. Hawthorn piling over the top. Has Lyndon Dunn got a problem? No. I'll have it thrown up.
Collingwood 66, Hawthorn 65. The Hawks by 18 points at quarter time. What was the margin at half-time, Stu?
Half-time, 6 points to the Hawks.
Ball in Hawthorn's attacking zone. Umpire will have to come in and toss it up again. Near map aerial imagery around the grounds.
Look at the Dockers by 10 points over St Kilda deep into the first quarter.
McAvoy, Grundy, thanks Stu. Gunston. Can't recall him having a shot at goal this afternoon. Well done by Thomas, makes a contest. That's Josh, brings it to ground. Hand pass back to Phillips, had plenty of it this quarter. Spreads it further wide to Broomhead. He goes around the body, around the corner, and around Josh Thomas. Gives Hardwick a chance. The looping hand passes is all taking place. Tight on the boundary line, Burton. Got a bit of skill and a bit of speed. Gives it to Hartung now. Can he hit someone inside 50? Gives it back to Burton. We know he's a long kick for goal. Goes inboard to Howe. And Howe marks. Wants to play on further by foot and does. And he goes to O'Brien to have his second shot in the space of 3 minutes. This one, though, directly in front from 40.
And there's another example of why Hawthorn's kicking efficiency has to be up. If they're 78% in the first half, it's dropped back to 48%. But that time they were able to chain it down, and another easy shot at goal.
Tim O'Brien. Had a really good game 5 or 6 weeks ago when he took a couple of strong contested marks. Reasonably consistent since then. Should kick this, loves it. Pumps his fist. Hawks back in front. Hawthorn 11-5-71. Collingwood 10-6-66. As Nathan Buckley just ponders what's happening in front of him on the Triple M Chemist Warehouse replay screen.
Yeah, he's one of those players, Howie, that just has to play games now. Has to play for the rest of the year, I reckon, and have another really good pre-season, put on another couple of kilos. He's certainly got talent, very athletic, and a sound kick. So I reckon he's got a big future.
When you talk about goal kicking before the show, it's just you talk about all the practice you want, but that technique that he's got, Duck,
yeah,
it's a really simple technique, isn't it? Not a high ball drop, really efficient run up. That's what you're really looking for your players to do, is find a really simple run-up and simple kicking style.
Triple MC Bus Super Special comments. The Zen Master Paul Roos, the King Wayne Carey, O'Brien the goal scorer. Play-on's the call for McDonald's. Triple M Rocks footy. Showermakers pumps the ball inside 50 towards Langdon with Giroux, the opposing number 8's Burgoyne. Cheeky, silky handball. Frees up his man and the Hawks bang two. Bruce kicks the goal. And in the blink of an eye, it's back out to an 11-point lead to the Hawks, 12-5-77. Collingwood 10-6-66, 19 and a half gone of this third term. Triple M Exetel scoreboard.
Yeah, just a lovely little handball on the up from Burgoyne. Taught that from a young age. To give the ball as you're coming up. It's just a lovely little give.
And that's the extension now to Hawthorn's game plan. Centre clearances. That's their 5th goal from centre clearances. So they now have a couple of ways they can beat you. As I said, 2 or 3 weeks ago it was one way. Well, if we can't keep the ball off you by foot, uncontested marks, well, we can't beat you. Now they've added contested ball. It's a contested ball, Shoeman.
Yeah. Bosch Tool stats, the Hawks are up in that stat by +10.
Yep.
Bob Jane teammates there.
Yeah, Goldstack is currently in the hands of Dr. Chris Bradshaw for Collingwood. Looks like he's got an issue with his nose.
Thanks,
so I'll come back to you.
Nice. Bruce sizzles one inside 50. Mark taken by Langford. Kicked goals in the grand final a few years ago. And Langford will go back and have a shot from about 48, Doc.
Yeah, not a great set shot.
No.
0-5 to be precise.
Another
No,
mark
not
inside
great.
50 though, Two-Man too. How many marks inside 50 have they taken now?
Bosch Tool stats come back to you shortly.
Okay. So Langford, just to gap it a little bit out to 17 points. As Doug said, this is not necessarily a strong point. He's from 50. It's not a strong effort. It's out on the full, Duck. So you're spot on there as per usual. Triple MC Bus Super Special comments.
Well, that's exactly what would be going through his mind, Howie. In his mind now, he knows he's 0-5 this year, and he's probably going back having all of those negative thoughts, and then it just overwhelms you.
And he's still 0-5.
Darcy Moore with a big leap on the outer half-back flank. Ball bobbles around. Billy Hartung threw a boot at it. Couldn't get contact on it. Treloar with a good tackle, as well as Broomhead. Broomhead did well. Extracted the ball. Bouncing ball towards the outer wing. Doing well was Hardwick. Flicked the handball over the top to Heatherly.
Hawks having a good little period here. Another inside 50 entry. O'Brien flies from the side. Gee whiz, nearly took an absolute hanger. Falls to the ground though, and the ball spills out. And the umpire will toss it up.
Again too, the Hawks boys. The second time, Howie, that the... Oh, I tell you what, did he mark it?
Probably fell out as he was approaching the ground. Did everything but.
Yeah, good leap.
We'll get to Sarah Fayle shortly with an update on Tyson Goldsack as the ball spills out towards the boundary. Cox, he's kicked 3, gives it to side bottom. There's a whistle on play. I reckon he's downfield. Quickly, Sarah.
Blood spilling out of Tyson Goldsack's nose.
That was quickly.
Yep, all thanks to Bob Jane T-Marts, the tyre and wheel specialist. Pendlebury.
13 touches.
How many in this term, Ash?
Just the one stat.
Yeah. So they'll need a big term from the skipper in game 250. Jeremy Howe with possession, bit of room, delivers nicely to Solo. Billy Elliott's long, didn't see him, darts the ball back into Howe. Howe goes in that direction. It's not a good kick. In fact, it's a really bad kick from Jeremy Howe.
Mark taken by Heatherly. The Hawks have got some sort of tall, rangy defenders back there now. Howe spreads it to Hodge. He's got further options. And the Hawks have got a little bit of space on the outer wing. Mitchell.
26.
Short to Smith. Triple M Bosch Tool stats. And Isaac Smith, who had a pretty quiet first half, goes to Henderson. Takes the mark, bounces off his opponent, plays on. Now Langford trying to get around Mason Cox. In fact, Darcy Moore. And in the end, he takes the ball across the boundary line. It'll be tossed in. Centre wing out of side. Hawthorn 12-5-77. Collingwood 10-6-66. Clickety-click. The Hawks by 11 points. 23 into the third term on the Triple M Exetel scoreboard.
Around the grounds.
Dockers by 15 points over St Kilda, nearing quarter time.
Earlier today,
Brisbane by 8 points over the Bombers.
Right here, it's an 11-point lead to the Hawks. They've kicked 3 of the 4 goals in the term. Ball spills free. Here's a chance for the Magpies. Treloar's been pretty good. 2 bounces. Scurries along the boundary line. Now puts the ball back inside. It favours Elliott. He's got Fasolo long. He's got Greenwood deep towards the fat side. Held up. Called to play on. They're queuing up here. He'll get chased down from behind. To go, he got a handball off to a teammate.
Long shot at goal from outside the area, and it sneaks through for one behind. Another one to Collingwood off the boot of Broomhead. Hawthorn 77, Collingwood 67, 24 done. Third term, Sicily to bring the ball back in for the Hawks. McDonald's, Triple M Rocks, Sunday afternoon football. Mark Howard, Wayne Schwash, Wayne Carey, Paul Roos, the Chew Man and Sarah on the boundary. Nice combination. Yeah, nice mark by Darcy Moore. He's good overhead, and there's an intercept on the outer wing.
Yeah, he's a long way from home. He'll put the ball towards half forward in the direction of Mason Cox. Jamie Elliott got in the way. Broomhead doing the sharking. Nice snap around the corner from Broomhead. Collingwood get their second of the term. And we've got a game on. 4-point lead. Hawks way. 77-73. 24 and a half gone. Triple M Exetel scoreboard before Roosie and Duck. Sarah Fayor, Bob Jane T-Marts.
Guys, Tyson Goldsack is in a bad way. He's just gone down to the rooms. He came off around the 20-minute mark after a collision with Schoenmakers. He sat on the bench with a rag on his nose, just pinching it at the top to try and stem that bleeding. And as I said, he's now down in the rooms.
Good work, Sarah. Without sounding repetitive, how simple is that? Cox leads out, brings it to the front, Broomhead front and square. Pretty simple. It's not a puzzle.
It's 3 goals he's kicked, Duck, and I reckon he's created another 3. So he's done his job.
He sure has. He's been good.
It's not a puzzle, says the King. Back in the middle we go. Further chance for the Pies. Hand pass to Thomas. Just gets foot to ball and finds for Solo, who's already kicked one this term. And this in a topsy-turvy affair to give the Pies a lead again. Alex from 30, no angle. Thomas just managed to get a little boot on it in front of what crowd Chew thinks is about 60,000 with the lights on.
Yep.
Fazolo to kick your second for the term. From 40, off about 3 steps. Fazolo enjoys it, so do Pies supporters, and Collingwood are back in front. Hawthorn 12-5-77. Collingwood 12-7-79. The Pies by 2 points on the Triple M Exetel scoreboard.
Is that their first goal from the centre bounce, Tuman? Is it 5-0?
Spot on.
Yeah.
5-1 now.
Yeah, so it's 5-1 now. So one of the few times they've been able to get a benefit out of it.
It was a clever little kick from Thomas, wasn't it? Often when you're in that situation, it doesn't matter really, Roosie, when you're going into your forward 50. It doesn't matter even if it spins incorrectly, as long as it goes to your advantage and to the space in front of you. Doesn't matter how it gets there.
I often think sometimes you're better to roll along the ground. You know, if you can't get a good purchase, kick it along the ground, give the forward more of a chance than the defender because he's in front.
2-point lead to the Pies. Trelaw's been big, pumps the ball to half forward, but the Pies don't have anyone there. Hardwick for the Hawks takes an easy mark.
Number 37 for the Hawks. Favours the right boot and gaining his style. Sends it out towards Showmakers, who started well, but he's been reasonably quiet after 2 goals in the first term. Now Greenwood in the middle of the ground. Little sizzler, but the Hawks have got the numbers out on that side. Comes to Burton. Well worked between the 2 defenders. He feigns one way then the other. Gee, he's got a kick on him. He absolutely barrels it towards O'Brien, who wants to play on. Goes inboard and finds Henderson.
What's he had, Ash?
15 touches and 1 major.
He's on the Toyota logo on the outer side. Heads out wide to this man who just finds the ball at nauseam.
Disposal number 27, Mitchell.
Of course, that's Tommy Mitchell. 3 minutes left to play in the third term. Quickly, let's head to Domain Stadium for near-map aerial imagery.
Well, it's quarter time, Swatter. We've got the Dockers leading the Saints by 16 points.
Burton drops it long. Grundy parked himself in front of Roughhead. Collingwood relieve a bouncing ball. It's a chaos ball. 2 Pies collide.
Hawks take possession, but not for long. Mitchell, Burton, Burgoyne doesn't take possession, goes a volleyball spike, finds Henderson, who's been a good pickup from the Hawks since he came across from the Crows. Now Brand finally unloads down towards Gunston, has to make a contest. Roughhead hits the ball hard. Now Burgoyne, he just don't argues to Maynard, can't get the kick away. Burgoyne's looking to get it again. Hawks 50 from home. Roughhead sweeping hand pass back. Now they push it forward, the Hawks, but they've kicked it straight to Jordan DeGoey, who marks at fullback.
It's been good today, Ash.
27 disposals, which is a PB, and he's a number 1 ranked player on the ground.
Howe works really hard, but the Pies through Isaac Smith shut that down. Darting ball inboard, left shoulder kick. That was Elliott, got it to Langdon. Heads out wide, and at the Pies through Maynard takes a relatively easy mark.
PB for DeGoey with a quarter to go.
Yeah, that's right. 25 prior to today.
That is good to going. Sorry. Sorry, Roosie. That's a little bit of a dad's joke. Now Elliott Here is Degoe. He loads out from outside 50. Not accurate though. Slides through for one behind. Bouncing ball. Collingwood attacking at the moment. They are 12-8-80. Hawthorn 12-5-77 with a minute 20 on the clock earlier today. Jeff Horn beat Manny Pacquiao in a unanimous points decision.
Yeah, it was a big win for the 29-year-old Brisbanean school teacher. And all class, Rusi spoke about it. Manny Pacquiao acknowledged it. Well, that was the way it went. And I will come back this year for a rematch.
Brisbane?
Yeah, Brisbane.
Okay.
Yep, look it up. It's there. Lyndon Dunn, he flew at it, couldn't take it. Langdon took the mark on the northern wing. It's a 3-point ball game with a minute to go. And Langdon goes towards Fasolo in front. Langford did really well with 2 pies against him.
Yeah, put his body on the line. He gets it back now. Brand just hacks it out of his defensive zone. Might fall luckily, and it does, sort of, for the Hawks. A little bit of candy shown. Now Shields bends it forward but kicks it out on the full. And it's marked by a Collingwood official. He gives it back to Phillips. Dying stage's first term, third term. And the Pies have got it now through Ramsey.
Just gives a handball with the wraparound runner from Phillips. Chisels the ball with 30 seconds to go. Taylor Adams.
22 touches.
Gives off a handball to Phillips. Chips it over the top. Not a good kick. It's okay though. House to mop up. And the Pies to reload. Adams may give it back again. They're making hard work of it, Collingwood.
Free kick going the way of Smith. Burgoyne takes the advantage. Goes to Roughhead with less than 10 on the clock. Go back and have a shot, Ruffy, from 25 directly in front. It'll be after the siren, which is what Mason Cox did on the half-time break. Pendlebury talking to the umpire.
He's really well weighed up there by Burgoyne. Knew he had Roughhead, so took the advantage quickly and got it to Ruffy all by himself.
He's kicked one, Ruff, should kick two to give the Hawks the 3-point lead at the final break. Trots back and misses. Not sure how, but he does. Through for one behind. Very casual, but that's the way he kicks for goal. Hawthorn 12-6-78. Collingwood 12-8-80. The Pies by 2 points.
Can I just make a quick observation?
Yes.
Those fake kite eagles,
yes.
Seagulls have realised they're fake. They've all come down into the stadium again now.
That's your sort of Triple MC Bus Super Special comments. This is why the man's on $6,000 a game to tell us that the Seagulls have realised the fake birds are fake.
Yep.
It's the biggest insight you've given us all afternoon, Doug. Hawthorn trail by 2 points at three-quarter time for McDonald's. Triple M Rocks footy. Three-quarter time, Jared Roughhead missed a reasonably easy shot after the siren. Collingwood 12-8-80, Hawthorn 12-6-78. The Pies by 2 points. Bob Jane T-Marts, the best tyre price guarantee. Sarah Fay all set.
Yeah, about 5 minutes before that last term ended, Tyson Goldsack went down to the rooms. We know that he copped a whack to the nose after a collision with Show and Makers. There was a lot of blood coming out. He was sitting, not moving, just sort of pinching the nose, trying to stem the bleed. He's just come up from the rooms now, guys. He's in a bad way. He's sitting in the back row of the bench with his tracksuit top on, and he's just been spitting out a little bit of blood too. So not good signs for Tyson Goldsack or Collingwood.
No, not good, but you have been exceptional today, Sarah. As always, Triple M Bosch tool stats. Bosch connected range. Good, better Bosch. This man, the chew.
Yes, well, I'll take his spot because he's not sitting here,
sorry.
Harry, so don't worry, I'll cover him. I know he's in the
for
Hall
us?
of Fame. I've got Tommy Mitchell, 28, Duck, DeGoey, 28, Phillips, 26, Burton, 24, Howe, 21. Contested possession, though, which has been a weakness for Hawthorn. They're winning that stat 106-98.
I didn't know the little man was out on his 7th sausage roll.
In football terms, that's called a lack of awareness and a turnover.
Yeah,
Howie.
it was. I didn't
I'm just
realise
sitting
he
in the
wasn't
coach's
there.
box. We've got an easy ball going inside 50 and you've slaughtered it, the entry.
Yeah, it wasn't
Now
out
I'm going to
there.
get the sack.
Duck, straighten us up.
Yeah, it's been a...
The wheels are falling off here. It's McDonald's Triple M Rocks football. Chewy, you back yet?
Yes, I'm back on.
All right, Chewy. Here we go. Wayne Schwash to open up the final quarter. The Pies lead the Hawks by 2 points.
They do for McDonald's. Triple M Rocks footy. Trelaw's been good. Burgoyne into the middle. Looking to do something special, which he's done throughout his illustrious career. Right on cue. He goes to half forward. Chips the ball up towards Duray with Chris. Loose ball. Pies have numbers. They mop up. Comes to side bottom. Cool. Langdon. Nicely done.
Keep an eye on Sean Burgoyne in this final quarter, Schwattles. When he gets it done, when it counts.
Triple M's very own.
Greenwood. He's done some games with us on a Sunday.
Yes, very well.
Saturday night. Very, very good. Down the line it goes. Big fist away from Heatherly. He was the late inclusion after Stratton pulled up with a bit of a dodgy knee. Now the Pies. Ramsey plays on, gets onto the right foot, drives it just forward of the wing. Shields, Pendlebury. Shields keeps his feet. Pendlebury doesn't. Shields does well. Picks it up. It goes to O'Brien in the middle of the ground.
Got a bit of room. Here's the man, Silk Burgoyne. Takes the mark on the stretch. He's got men moving everywhere. Here comes Billy Hartung on a hard lead. Runs to the wing. Gets the half forward. Stops, starts, then stabs the ball inside 50. Gunston worried out of it. Sweeping on the loose ball was Bruce. Flick the handle over the top. O'Brien. Hawthorn get the opening goal in the final term. And more importantly, the lead. Out by 4 points, 13-8 to 86. Sorry, 2-point lead. No, 4-point lead. I was right. 13-6-84 to 12-8-80. That is Hawthorn's way on the Triple M Red Z Lending scoreboard.
Yeah, if Burgoyne gets hold of it this quarter, they're in trouble. The Pies. He's had two possessions already, and both look like scoring shots. The second one was again ball use. Billy Hartung nearly slaughtered it, but they were able to mop up and a nice quick goal. So it's going to be a similar pattern, you'd think, in the last quarter. If Hawthorn can hang on to the football and spread the Pies defence around, then they should be able to win. Collingwood need to put really heat around the ball and defend the width of the MCG.
Just with Billy Hartung, 16 possessions, all of those uncontested, but he's only going at 63% by foot.
Mitchell, another clearance from the middle. Inside 50, Gunston can't take the mark. Duray had a pretty good day. Crisp pushes him off the footy, gives it back to Howe, but ordinary hand pass. Howe immediately tackled by Taylor Duray. Brent Sanderson did say at the start of the match, when you asked him whether they were going to tag Mitchell, he said you've got to keep an eye on Burgoyne as well. He doesn't need many touches to hurt you.
That's right.
How many centre clearances for Mitchell?
He's had 3 centre clearances.
Well, thanks to Bosch Tools, Gunston wants to get on the scoreboard sheet and does! Snap around the corner over the left shoulder, Hawthorn. Kick the opening 2 goals inside the first 2.5 minutes of the final term. Margin now 10 points, 14-6-90, 12-8-80. Triple M Red Z Lending scoreboard. Red Z Lending solutions for the self-employed.
Well, that's just a really clever snap, isn't it? That's his strength, is Gunston. We know that he's good on the lead, but good below his knees, and just went to that stoppage on the move. One of the only ones on the move, and really clever snap.
Gunston gets his first. McDonald's, Despicable Me, 3 family box. Good start by the Hawks. O'Brien and Gunston in the opening 3 minutes of bad goals. Now, who can answer for the Pies? Burgoyne in the middle of the ground when he's needed. McAvoy, and there is Burgoyne. Look at him, burst out of the tackle, gives it to Shields. He's the influential one at the moment, Sean Burgoyne. The Hawks again inside 50. Collingwood have got the numbers in defence. Pushing hard is Jeremy Howe. He's lost the footy though. Back to Gunston. Takes on 2 tacklers, one of them probably too many. Now Roughhead throws himself at the footy ball, 70 out from the Hawks goals. And eventually it comes clear towards Pendlebury. A lot of players around the footy. Once again the ball spills free, and now a chance for the Pies.
Quick kick from Jeremy Howe, bounces in front of Sicily quickly. Sarah.
Oh yeah, Darcy Moore's having his left hamstring assessed, guys, on the bench at the moment.
All right, that's all thanks to Bob Jane T-Marts. Hodge.
Collingwood need to, they need to sort out their clearances. It's 4-0 already in this quarter.
21 to Hodge.
Very good, drops it to half forward. Good mark by Brodie Grundy. Took a strong grab in front of McAvoy as Burgoyne guards the mark. Of those 4 clearances, I reckon Burgoyne's probably had 3, is he not, Ash?
Yeah, Bosch Tool Stats has had 2 in fact.
Close enough.
Josh Thomas on the wing. What's he had in his first game back for a long period?
Yeah, Thomas, he's had 20 disposals and kicked a major.
Pretty good, Chew.
Yep.
Now side bottom with Heatherly working the mark really hard. Side bottom. He's going to be forced to go back. He wants to go forward and eventually does. Hoofs it down the line on the right. She gets good use of the body from Sicily. Just out-muscled for Solo. And Sicily takes the mark in this new role in defence across half-back.
Yep. Can certainly take a good mark and likes the goals too, but as Howie said, got the role of a half-back player at the moment. Talking about good marks, Jeremy Howe just floats up, takes a standard mark, 18 feet off the ground. 10-point lead to the Hawks. Round the grounds, near map aerial imagery.
Dockers by 10 points over St Kilda, early stages, second term.
Brave kick inside the square. Thomas is there, fortuitously bounced into his waiting arms, but look at the massive Hawthorn players around the ball. Howe is there for the Hawks. Strong tackle. Will have it thrown up inside the square as Darcy Moore does some warm-ups not far from you, Sarah.
Yeah, the doctor and the physio are having a genuine debate here about Darcy Moore's left hamstring, and as you can see, he's just running up and down the boundary line, testing its fitness right now.
Saints might have kicked one too. We'll keep an eye on that. Burton looping hand pass. Only goes as far as Crisp. Ducks back inboard. Feigns a hand pass. Now gives it to Treloar, looking for the 1-2, but Treloar in turn gives it on to DeGoey. Had the most possessions he's ever had, and that was in the first 3 quarters. Goes inside 50. Really good ball. Pendlebury takes the mark. And Scott will play on short and goes to Treloar, who had a kick from 35 without too much angle to narrow the margin to 4 points. Well done by Scott Pendlebury in game 250.
Yeah, 17 disposals, Howard. Just for around the grounds, you're right. St Kilda did kick a major, so only trailing the Dockers by 4 points.
Okay. Treloar called his name a lot this afternoon.
22 touches.
Takes his time to narrow it to a 4-point margin. 6.5 into the final quarter. Keeps it low and it's effective, and the Pies get another one. Collingwood's 13. 13-8, 86. Hawthorn 14-6, 90. The Hawks by 4 points on Triple M Red Z Lending scoreboard.
Just off the back of the fact that it's going from end to end, and it's got. Oh dear. I'm off.
just Pendlebury the full forward there too, which is interesting.
I'm broken. I'm broken already.
Yeah. Just the scoring profile is worth seeing again, too, man, because it's been staggering, hasn't it? The Collingwood's goal sources.
Yeah, they're winning the turnovers. 12 out of their 13 majors from Hawthorn turnovers, but Hawks winning the stoppages. 9 out of 14.
Why do you shake your head?
Well, just possibly you might get to bed before 3 a.m. at some stage during the football season, and this might not happen to you, Wayne Carey.
Why do you say that?
4-point lead to Hawthorn. Can we get Duck a cup of hot water, please? The voice is under pressure. Hawthorn get it free. Duray loops the handball to Isaac Smith. Haven't called his name a lot today. Wheels around, scrubs a bouncing ball inside 50. Pies will need to be good. Christmas tackle on Langford was very good. Duray gets it free. Ball bobbers around. Langford, quick kick, bouncing ball through for a behind. The margin is now 5 points. 8 minutes gone. Final term, Triple M Red Z Lending scoreboard. Hawks way, Ruzy.
Smith needs to get going a bit. I think he's only had 10? Yeah, he's averaging 23, so...
Turned it over the Pies and full back. They kicked it straight to Mitchell. And Mitchell, if he wants to, can have a shot from, well, be about 50. It'll take his best. Let's see who kicked it out. We'll have a look in a minute on the Triple M Chemist Warehouse replay. Discover the new David Beckham fragrance, Respect, at Chemist Warehouse, the real house of fragrance. Does anyone see who?
Maynard, I think.
Okay, thank you, Duck. So Mitchell hasn't kicked a goal this afternoon. He'll have to kick it from 50 on the left. Loads up. Looks good. Looks excellent. Looks home. Big goal, Mitchell. Hawks extend again. Hawthorn 15-7, 97. Collingwood 13-8, 86. The Hawks by 11. Triple M Red Z Lending scoreboard.
How many goals for the season for Mitchell, Two-Man?
Yeah, Tommy Mitchell, that's only his 5th major.
Yeah, so gets a lot of the ball, if he can start hitting the scoreboard, Ruzy, then he becomes a real weapon then, doesn't he?
Yeah,
I know that's a turnover from a kick-in, but he got a couple of shots, I think, against Adelaide last week, kicked a goal, could have finished with a couple, so just needs to add that to his game.
Around the grounds for Nearmap aerial imagery.
Oh, it's tight. Dockers by 3 points over the Saints, halfway into the second. So St Kilda win there in the 8. They displace Sydney.
For McDonald's, Triple M Rocks footy, Hawthorn lead by 11 points. Mason Cox bounces the ball to half forward. Hodge does the mopping up, does the handball off to Kurt Heatherly, delivers the kick beautifully. Got it out to Duray, couldn't take the mark. Chris bundles him and ball. Out of bounds, not far from this lady, doing a great job thanks to Bob Jane teammate Sarah Fayor.
Guys, we know that Tyson Goldsack is out for the rest of the game, and it's not great news for Collingwood because Darcy Moore started on the bench, had his left hamstring tested, and it looks like the doctors told him to sit down for a little while longer. So
they could be 2 down for the rest of the game, Sarah. It'll affect rotations. Keep an eye on that one. Ball barreled inside 50. Really good mark by Brand. That full stretch like he was at second slip. Immediately goes to Hodge. Had running options. Takes one of those but goes by foot to Howe. Had plenty of it.
Howe Bosch Tools 23 touches.
So Howe's got it on centre wing. Goes short to Burgoyne. Always dangerous when the game's on the line. Sean Burgoyne. Just forward of the wing. Hodge is saying, I'm going to shepherd on the mark for you, Sean, and he does. So Burgoyne drives it long. Inside 50, McAvoy can't take the mark. Goes across the boundary line. Hawthorn 97, Collingwood 86. 10.5 done. Final term with a couple of injury concerns for the Pies on the Triple M Red Z lending scoreboard.
McDonald's Despicable Me 3 box for McDonald's Triple M Rocks footy. On your way home, get a couple of those. They are absolutely magnificent from our great mates. All the boys and girls from McDonald's. Big part of Triple M footy. Ball is thrown in. Now it's wrapped up. We'll have it thrown up. 48 metres out from Hawthorn's goal. 3 goals to 1 in this term. 18 points at quarter time Hawthorn, 6 at half time. 2-point lead to the Magpies at 3/4 time. Bruce is tackled well by Ramsey. Roughhead, feeding handball. Isaac Smith on cue, but it's wide. 12-point margin. Hawthorn's way. Triple M Red Z lending scoreboard. See it.
Guys, he's not happy about it, but Darcy Moore's just put the tracksuit top on. He is sitting on the second row of the bench next to Tyson Goldsack. They've got 2 men out.
Okay. The Hawks will work them on rotations. Missed opportunity from Isaac Smith. A reasonably quiet day, as Ruzi said at 3/4 time. They needed a bit more from him. Now the Pies trying to work it out. Defence. Burton, big fly. Managed to affect the spoil over Phillips. Runs into Phillips. He's got some confidence about him, that man. And it'll be tossed in on the outer side.
He's having another good game, Chew, man. What's he up to?
Yeah, 26 touches.
Yep.
So we'll have it thrown in left half forward flank. Hawks lead by 12 points. Looking at their 6th win for the year. Good tackle by Treloar on Mitchell. Coming out, we'll have it thrown up. Solid crowd. Cold few days here in Melbourne town and surrounding areas. Treloar got a handball off to DeGoey, who's been pretty good. Fired a handball down the line to Broomhead. Chips the ball, good kick. Got Hoskin Elliott, handball inboard.
Plays on immediately. Pies streaming through the middle. Thomas needs to get rid of it. Took a bounce. One too many. Somehow gets it to Fasolo. Hoskin Elliott, side bottom from 35. Butchers it. Out on the full. Not just out on the full. Out on the full by about 15 metres. And the Hawks dodge a bullet.
Geez, that was a great chase by Henderson, I think it was, wasn't it?
Was
got
it
a bit of speed.
Yeah, quick. Yep.
So Billy Hartung to bring it back in. Back pocket. Drops it to half forward. Pies have numbers. And a couple of them fight for the ball. And Ramsey takes a nicely judged mark. So they trail by 12 points. The Magpies, that is, with 11:40 to go the final term. Ramsey towards Billy Elliott. For Solo got a hand up. Big leap. Greenwood came out. A good play by Hodge. He's not going to shirt the issue, Luke Hodge. What a player. Ball goes out of bounds. 25 around from the Magpies goal. They trail by an even 2 goals.
That's what you call body lining the footy, Swatter.
Yep.
No hand in there with Luke Hodge.
No.
It's a man that Chris Judd compared on Friday night to Avril Lavigne, which was a little bit harsh, I thought, on Luke Hodge. Tough man, but came in looking a bit like a girly rocker, I think is what Hodgie was trying to be described as.
A bit rich coming from Juddy, considering he looked like a bikie.
He did.
Brighton.
In a $2,000 jacket, mind you. Showmakers down the line. Burgoyne works his man under it, but pushed him in the back pretty obviously. And the Pies will get the free kick, and it'll go the way of Crispy.
What do you want the Pies to do, Ruzi? What are you looking for them to do to create some opportunities here?
Yeah, they've got to be better around the stoppages. They've got a really good midfield. They've got to chain out better stoppages and really just run. We know with Hawthorn they're probably not a great running side. This stuff, that overlap handball, you need to give that handball.
Jeremy Howe that was, took the mark. He had Phillips on the inboard and goes short to half-back True. Broomhead, spearing ball, not a good kick, turnover.
Yeah, I'll tell you what's not working is their kicking game.
He kicked it to Howe. Now Burton, the exciting one. Sizzles one inside 50, finds Lukey Bruce. He's tight on the boundary. They have to kick from 45. He's a pretty good set shot though, Ruzi, this man.
Yeah, he's a nice set shot. I think he went through at one stage. What did he kick June out at one stage? About 185 goals in a row or something.
I think there was one season, he was like 32 goals for from set shots.
It's a big kick for Luke Bruce. 10-5 from set shots in 2017. Still take his best. Wouldn't surprise though. Bruce takes his time. Weighs it up. Across the face. Big fly. Behind. Pies dodge the bullet at the other end. Hawthorn 99, Collingwood 86. Hawks by 13 points. Triple M Red Z lending scoreboard.
10 to go, final term. Let's get to Domain Stadium.
It's a tight one still, Swatter. Dockers by 2 points over St Kilda deep into the second quarter.
So the ball is kicked back in. Trelaw had it, then flicked the handball out the top to Pendlebury. He wants to drag the man in, but it wasn't a good handball. Burgoyne comes, Pendlebury over the top. Hawks trying to get it back inside the square. Loose ball, good work, Taylor Adams. Got a man out. Hoskin Elliott has to look for the ball behind him.
He's going to have Hodge on his hammer. I reckon he'll take Hodge on too. Goes a little short ball inside 50 to Elliott, who kicked the first goal. Been reasonably quiet since then, Jamie Elliott. Triple M Bosch Tool stats.
Yeah, he's only had 8 possessions, and that was marked number 5.
He'll take his best. He'll have to kick from outside 50 on a reasonably tight angle, but he is wonderful in front of goals, this man. With the Billy Idol hair. This to narrow the margin back to 7 points. It will take a good effort from Elliott. From right on 50, loads up, high ball. It's all about the accuracy. Hits the post, right up the top of it. One behind, back to a 2-goal game, the way of the Hawks. Triple M Red Z leading scoreboard. 16-27 done, final term.
However way they have to do it, so they've got to get it on the outside and they've got to run.
Collingwood.
Yeah, Collingwood. Yep. Yeah, when they do look, now the difficulty is now they're 2 down in rotation, so
it's going to be hard, but it's possible if they're good enough. Hawthorn. Sicily has been good off half-back.
He's racked up 14 touches.
Got the ball free, hunched over. That unmistakable gating run from Smith drives the ball long. Good work by Langdon. Did really well with Grundy. They combine, but now they give it back. Burgoyne dodges, weaves, gives a handball up. Hawthorn queuing up. Tommy Mitchell steps up to the plate. He'll go back for his 2nd consecutive goal, and this will make it hard if he converts.
Almost identical position where he kicked the last goal.
What's his day like?
Another easy goal, though, Duck, if he kicks it, like, isn't it? There's so many just easy little kick. There's 3 Hawthorn players unmanned in the corridor.
31 touches for Mitchell.
So 81 disposals in almost 2 games against the Pies. Mitchell on the runway from 45. It is home. And maybe Hawthorn are 2. 8:03 to play of the final term, and it's a 105-87 lead to the Hawks. Triple M Red Z leading scoreboard.
Well, that's they've taken 17 marks inside their forward 50 to Collingwood's 12, and I think they've had at least 10 individual goal kickers as well. How many, Tuman?
12 individual goal kickers.
So that's been one of their great strengths over a long period of time, Hawthorn. They really share the goals, and they've done it again today.
But I think that's also indicative, Duck, of how many have been free at different stages. Yeah. Because it's been pick your option going forward at different times. There's been 2 and 3 players that have been free. So Collingwood's ability to defend the MCG today has been poor. And that's when the ball's on the outside, they've been really poor at stopping Hawthorn.
Ruse and Carey, what a combination. Triple M Seabus Super Special Comments, award-winning super for the building and construction industry. Another possession for Mitchell. Now comes to Elliott, though. They've cut it off here. The Pies might have got one high, might have ducked into it. The umpire said the latter. Hawthorn messing around by hand across half-back. They lead by 3 goals. 18.5 on the clock in the final siren. Mitchell with another one to Gunston. Queuing up at the moment, the Hawks. Hardwick, too much juice on the handball. Out of bounds, out of side. Hawks by 3 goals.
Freo St Kilda.
So Dockers by 8 points over St Kilda. 5:45 remaining before half-time.
Crowd, Ash, not bad.
Yeah, 56,593. They've averaged 60 from their past 5.
Fresh day today in Melbourne. Beautiful tap. Grundy got it to Pendlebury. Laid off a handball to the runner. Hoskin Elliott. Hodge. Wonderful smother. Then a give along the ground. Chase down from behind. Turnover. Elliott lost it for Solo. Charges through. Past 1. Get past 3. Has to kick the goal. And does. Good response by the Magpies. Fasolo gets the goal. 7:14 still to go. Margin back to a manageable 12. Fasolo's got 3. Triple M Red Z leading scoreboard.
And that's much better. That's why I was speaking about the stoppages. I think they buggered it up because it was spoiled, but they got on the out, and then they made a commitment to get it back. Here it is, Collingwood player coming in, making a tackle on the outside, and then Fasola. So that's the blueprint for their game, boys. Just they have to get something more. There was Hoskin Elliott, great smother from Luke Hodge, but then it was Crisp that came in and made a tackle and created a turnover, created a goal. Goals from turnovers, Two-Man.
Yeah, that's their 12th out of their 14.
McDonald's, Triple M Rocks footy, McAvoy, Burgoyne, Howe in the middle for the Hawks, as well as Mitchell. Side bottom, comes in off the line, does well with Burgoyne. just wheels himself towards the footy, gets a little hand pass towards Showmakers, caught in a tackle, game on the line. The Hawks lead by 2 goals. 20 and a half done, final term.
6:58 to go, final term. Hodge. No, it was Burton. This is an impressive kid, this one. Heads out wide to Isaac Smith, starting to find a bit of room to run. Heavily, he'll try to mop up a bouncing ball, keeps it in, now steps it out of bounds on the southern wing and will have it tossed in. 12-point lead to the Hawks.
What a week by week, you can just see Burton growing.
Yep.
His confidence is growing and growing, and you can tell he's going to be a super player if he gets a fair run at it.
So another good day, number 5 for the Hawks. They must have backed him when they give him the number 5 jumper. Mitchell, Crimmins and the likes. Some superstars have worn that for this club. Now Isaac Smith loads up. Just what I said, starting to get involved in the game. Big contest. No one can take the mark. Important contest. The Hawks with a gang tackle. Ball in dispute. Outer wing. Trelaw can't get it clear. Now Howe had a good day. O'Brien below his knees. Again, the ball still to be won. McAvoy showing a bit of presence to Smith. High ball inside 50. One-on-one contest. Gunston brought to ground. Umpire says play on. Steele side bottom picks it up. Hawks applying pressure. Showmakers. Collingwood away through Maynard.
They build off half-back. Pendlebury has a bounce. Wants to drag Birchall in. Birchall didn't fall for it. He corralled him. Pendlebury, slight hesitation. Big ball for Solo. Was he pushed? I think he was. He was. Collingwood free kick for Solo's got 3 too far from goal.
He's hurt himself, Burton, too, I think.
Fasolo plays on, drives it long, but he's kicked it straight to Sicily. And he's got a bit of a limp up, Burton, but I think he gave the bench the thumbs up. So Sicily goes short to Shields. This will test Burton. He leads hard, but can't get a possession. They go short, and Birchall's got it, with his Hawks leading by 2 goals. 22 and a half done, final term.
5.5 to go this fourth quarter. Quickly around the grounds.
Dockers by 2 points over the Saints.
Earlier today, Brisbane
by 8 points over Essendon.
Big win on the road for Brisbane. Chris Fagan very happy after the game. And it's Brand who drops it long. High ball. Nice mark from Langdon. Floated in beautifully.
Langdon. Tommy. Wants to go short. Finds Broomhead. Similar looking customers. Telling everyone to slow it down. You want to slow it down too much when you trail by 2 goals. 23 into the final term. Sicily will approach this late. Tries to take a mark. Nearly spoiled his teammate. Well done by Gunston. Gets a clearance, but the handball goes across the boundary line. Hawks lead by 2 goals in the final quarter on the Triple M Red Z Lending scoreboard.
4:36 to go. Final term. And we'll have it tossed in. Sarah Fayor, what's happening on the Hawks bench?
Yeah, well, Burton did give the thumbs up to the bench, but a minute later he ran off and he's currently having his left leg taped up.
Pendlebury through heavy traffic. Handball over to Maynard. Almost a mark by Brand. Fall of the ball. Hodge gives it off to Birchall. The old firm combined with one of the kids, the international boy. Kurt Heatherly, ball out wide. Not a good kick. Here it comes back.
Going to come straight back inside 50. Langdon by hand. Now the Pies have got it through Maynard. Approaches 50. Goes for a long bomb. It'll be a massive goal. Hits the post. Can you believe it, Pie fans? But it could be an important point. Collingwood within 11. 24 done. Final term. Triple M Red Z Lending scoreboard.
Another turnover too. Heavily just kicks the one out.
4:04 remaining. Hawthorn defending. 11-point lead. Pies must get a goal quickly. Birchall got around Elliott easily. The premiership star now just drops that familiar left foot ball out wide. Good ball work by the Pies though. Langdon, good spoil. Ball goes out of bounds. We'll have it tossed in. Right half forward flank. Southern side. Punt road end. 11-point lead to the Hawks. They've still got to defend. 3:47 on the clock.
Burgoyne trying to will himself into the contest. McAvoy gets it down. Grundy though rose well. Opportunity for the Pies. Another ball inside 50. Important contest. It's out on the full. Hardwick watched to go across the line. Hawthorn 105, Collingwood 94. The Hawks by 11 points, 25 gone. Final term, Triple M Red Z Lending scoreboard. Here's Wayne Swass.
So the ball will come back in, and it will be Howe for the Hawks. Drops it long. Langdon with another great set of hands. Big mark. They reload on the southern wing. Treloar
He's racked up 28.
goes to the Collingwood version of Howe. Handball back to Treloar. Wasn't a good one. They racks with a 1-2 handball. A bad handball from Jeremy Howe. And it goes to the other Howe.
This could open up the game. They put it out in front of O'Brien. Bouncing ball. Can he pick it up? Tim, he's made a mess of it. He's inside the goal square all by himself. He's caught in a tackle. That was the game right there.
Wow.
And O'Brien couldn't paddle it, couldn't pick it up, but the Hawks get another chance, 15 out from their goals.
Well, Jeremy Howe would have been happy because he slaughtered that handball, and then O'Brien slaughtered the bounce of the ball. So
3 minutes to go. Wrong end of the ground for the Pies. Trail by 11. One more. It's done. Roughhead takes it upon himself. And the skipper kicks a captain's goal. Hawthorn out by 17 points now, and you think they're good things with 2:54 remaining on the clock. 17-9, 1-11. Collingwood Bray, 14-10-94. Triple M Red Z Lending scoreboard.
and it's such a good midfield, Swallow. It's stoppages. What are the stoppage goals?
Hawthorn have posted 10 majors to Collingwood's only 2.
Yeah, and Collingwood are supposed to have an elite midfield duck.
Yep.
I mean, that's an indictment on them today. 10 goals to 2 from stoppages.
Oh boy, geez, a lot of animation up in the back row.
Well,
Really animate, a lot of sort of animal noises.
Collingwood produced a type. This gets a bit edgy up there. McDonald's, Triple M Rocks football. Your
Animal
turner
noises.
working for Triple M. You've got to be unbiased, Bruzy, and I'm not sure getting that in the back row. McDonald's, Triple M Rocks football. Burgoyne, another one to Shields. The Hawks, not quite home, but pretty close to it now. They've got it on the outer wing. Dropping a possession though, Shields. This is another opportunity for the Pies. Through that mistake from Shields, Maynard slides one, but it's going to be a Hawk mark. And that mark is taken
50.
by Heatherly. Who's been good, Heatherly, coming into the game, replacing Stratton. And there was a 50. What was it for?
He went over the mark, but I think maybe Fasola thought it was touched off the boot, so...
Needs to be careful, Alex Fasolo. Demonstrative behaviour, pointing at the umpire.
Stay out.
You're right,
Careful.
Swan. He could have given another 50 there.
Absolutely. Heatherly. What's he had this afternoon?
He's had 15 disposals and taken 4 marks.
That'd be close to a PB, Ash, wouldn't it?
Yeah, for Heatherly, it would be right up there.
Oh, so he hasn't done it because he's a Kiwi,
it's only
right?
his third game.
Right.
I think Burton's got a PB today, hasn't he?
Yeah, it's
High
29.
ball towards the forward line. Half forward, Burgoyne, just a deft little tap. He's very good. In fact, he's great. Comes to Bruce. Handball, Jarray. And it's a behind. 112-94, almost 28 gone. Final turn. Hawthorn will notch up their 6th win against the Pies. Triple M Red Z Lending scoreboard.
2 minutes on the clock. Hawthorn by 3 goals. Another turnover. There's been a lot of turnovers. It's your German bakery style. And it goes to Sicily. Now down the line. I think Duck gave me that one too, about the apple turnovers. Ball on the outer side. Is that one of yours, Duck? German bakery?
I gave it away, it wasn't good.
Okay. Inside 50 ball, big fly. Bruce, bouncing ball. Lukey Bruce. There's the game right there. Bruce kicks another, and the Hawks are home at the MCG. And the big story tomorrow will be Collingwood, who look like they could now be shot as far as the finals go. Hawthorn 18-10, 118. Collingwood 14-10, 94. The Hawks out by 4 goals, which is probably an equal game high on the Triple M Red Z Lending scoreboard.
Spot on, Howie.
Yeah, look, great crumb there. Bruce has had a difficult season. One of those guys that's, with the exit of those good players, has been more responsibility on Bruce. Yeah, I thought he's had a pretty solid game today, though. What's he had? 17?
17 touches, 2 goals and 11 scoring
He's
goals.
He's been better today, hasn't he? Yeah, that was a great front and square and a really good finish. So, well done to the Hawthorn boys today. They've beaten them in contested possession.
Yeah, plus 12.
Plus 12.
The Seabus Super Special Comments, award-winning super for the building and construction industry. Hawthorn by 24, Pies pump it inside 50, but you've got Elliott and you've got Fasolo against a reasonably tall and flexible Hawthorn defence with more off the ground. Sicily runs it out of bounds. I liked his game today too, Ash, from a Bosch Tools perspective.
Taken 11 marks, a couple of intercept and 25 disposals, and also has kicked the goal.
It's been a good day for James Sicily. Closing stages, a minute on the clock. Penny for your thoughts. Nathan Buckley on the Triple M Chemist Warehouse replay screen. And then a quick chain of hand pass. Comes to that Hawthorn player in Bruce. Now Isaac Smith. He's had a better last quarter, Chew.
Yeah, 6 touches in this quarter.
Shields has got it. There's a runner, but he's 70 metres away, too far. They're chipping it towards Gunston into space. Lyndon Dunn is there. He'll mop up. And the Pies might get it out of their defensive 50. Only far as Isaac Smith, though.
So he's got the mark. He's got Ruffhead who wants it long. He's got Sidebottom as a one-on-one contest.
Yeah, had to go there.
Yep.
Too late.
It's a high ball. O'Brien with a big leap. Good set of hands, though, from Jeremy Howe. Well, that's a standard mark for Jeremy.
DeGoey had a PB possession-wise today. And he's
Another
kicked
turnover.
it.
What is the total turnovers, Ash?
Yeah, racking them up. Turnover 72, Hawthorn 73, so Collingwood over 150 or near enough too.
Brand to Hodge. Another victory for the Hawks. Hodge goes all the way back to Sicily. Siren time! The Hawks have sunk the Pies at the MCG. Big win for the Hawks. Really tough loss for the Pies. Hawthorn 118. Collingwood 94.
Teamwork is the thing that talks. One for all and one for one, the way we play it goes. We are the mighty, mighty Hawks.
Hawthorn 18-10, 118. Collingwood 14-10, 94. The Hawks by 18 points at quarter time, 6 at the half. Collingwood nose in front by 2 points at three-quarter time. But the Hawks with 6 goals to 2 in the final quarter run out winners by 24 points. Here's Nick Maxwell, courtesy 7 with Luke Hodge.
It's been the last 2 weeks. I think we took some big steps forward last week over from Adelaide, and to back it up, which has probably been our issue a little bit this year, we've had a good game and then we've faltered the next week. So to back it up, play 4 good quarters, it was good effort by the fellas.
When you've been up for so long as a club, obviously winning those premierships you've won, you don't get the top draft picks, but these kids around you, they get the opportunity and they're showing a lot.
Yeah, they are. Like I said, we've had a few injuries in the back line this year, which has given a few of the young guys a chance. And look, they've been unreal. We saw last week with Hardwick on Betts, Brand on Jenkins, and we had Birdo on Tex. Like, they're taking big jobs and done really well. So you just sort of see every week that they're growing with confidence, which is great for the footy club.
And the old boy Burgoyne just goes in the middle, gets those clearances and really sets it up in that last quarter for you.
We keep saying old boy, but he's looking younger and younger. Every time someone questions his age, it looks like he drops 2 or 3 years. But it's good to have someone like that who people said we might get 2 or 3 years out of him. He's been an absolute star for us, and I think he's one of those blokes that everyone loves. You love watching him, you love him as a mate. He's just a ripper fella.
Go and enjoy it, mate. Well done.
Cheers, mate.
Well done to the Hawks. 4-goal winners over the Collingwood Footy Club. Chew. Live ladder. It's going to tell an interesting tale for Collingwood as we see their coach looking very pensive, I guess you'd call it, on the Triple M Chemist Warehouse replay.
Well, they've slipped to 15th on the ladder, the Magpies. So what it means currently, they're 2 games outside of the 8. But if St Kilda were to win, that'd be 3 games. So their season is pretty much done and dusted. Hawthorn, their season's still alive. They're currently 1 game outside. Worst case scenario 2.
Jared Ruffey with Nick Maxwell, courtesy of 7.
Just to follow up from the ruck, mate, but your mate Scotty Penner.
It's a cliche, I know, but...
Sorry, we lost Jared Ruffhead for a moment, and all of a sudden he morphed into Sean Burgoyne, which is extraordinary work by the Triple M technical department. Sorry, Chew, just to wind up on what was happening there on the ladder.
Yeah, so it's not good for Collingwood. They're currently 15th on the ladder, so they're 2 games outside of the 8 as we speak, but if St Kilda defeat the Dockers, they'll be 3 games outside. For the Hawks, still got a glimmer of hope. They're currently 14th, but only 1 game outside at present. But even if the Saints were to win, they'll be only 2 games outside.
Paul Roos, Wayne Carey.
Yeah, look, I've really enjoyed the last couple of weeks from Hawthorn, Ducker. I felt they needed to address that one-dimensional, which worked fantastically well for them for so many years. I mean, you just couldn't get the ball off them, but it was not sustainable with the current group of players, because even when we saw today, they do turn the ball over by foot. But I think the contested ball turnaround the last couple of weeks has been really significant for me. Their stoppage wins. So they've now found another way to kick goals and another way to win games of football. They can hang on to the ball, and I think the kicking efficiency was over that 70%.
76%, so that's 6 out of 7 this year they've won when they've tracked over 70.
But I think the adjustment, Duck, has been into other areas of their game. Stoppage is really good, contested ball is really good. Now they've got another way they can win games of football.
Yeah, that's right. And we just heard Luke Hodge talk about their defence, which they've had injuries in, but they get Birchall back. Hodge has missed a couple of games. He's He's obviously playing some good footy as the real leader in that back half, and then the emergence of these young players that Hodgie just spoke about. We've mentioned Burton a number of times, and Brand, and these guys who are getting real game time now and really stepping up to the plate, and 2 wins in a row. So their season's alive. Going to be difficult, obviously, but I guess there's a glimmer of hope for the Hawks.
Can't see them playing finals, but I don't think that's a massive issue for them now, Howie, as you frown at me and look at me like I just, ran over your dog. But I don't think they're going to play. But again, what I think they're doing now is giving game time. O'Brien was better today. Heatherly, you can go through the names there. Blake Hardwick's done a really good job today on Elliott too. Elliott's had an interrupted season, so look, to be fair to Elliott, it's not criticism, but young Blake Hardwick's been good. Ryan Burton's the kid though, isn't he? Really, 29. Howie, do you know what pick he was? I know he had broken leg.
He was late.
He was late.
He was highly touted as a kid. Broke his leg, so he could be the steal of the draft, which often happens when kids have injuries. Senior players, they're good. Lukey Hodge has had 27 again. Tommy Mitchell's he's had, what's he had now in 2 games against the 2 men?
35, so 85 disposals from 2 games. Just with Ryan Burton, he was pick 19, the 2015
pick, which
draft.
just probably belies his talent level.
He was talked about as a top 10, wasn't he?
Absolutely. So that can happen when they're injured, Duck. So look, there's some good signs. Unlikely that they're probably not good enough at this stage to play finals, but some really good signs the last couple of weeks.
Yep.
The new Despicable Me 3 family box is now available at Macca's. Get one on the way home. Made for sharing, made for family. And the crowd are slowly sliding out of the MCG as Duck pointed out to us with his Seabus Supers. The Seagulls are aware that the hawk is a plastic hawk and no longer concerned, Duck, are they?
Nope.
Probably your best input for the weekend, I think. Very good by you. At Triple M Bosch Tool Stats, Chewy.
Yeah, Hawks now have won 10 out of their past 11 against the Magpies. As the Duck mentioned, 12 goal kickers today, but scores from clearances. Hawthorn posted 10 goals, 3 to Collingwood, only at 2-2. 5 of those out of the centre. They racked up the uncontested marks with 122 and their kicking efficiency at 76%. Mitchell 35, Burton career high 29, 93% by foot. Hodge 27, Howe 26, Burgoyne 23 disposals and 6 clearances, and Sicily, he picked up 25 and racked up 11 marks. And for the Magpies, De Goey 32, a PB for him, along with 7 clearances, and Cox 7 disposals and kicked 3 goals straight.
Well done, Chew. We will go after this to the final game of the round, which is the Saints taking on Freo. Duck, need you to get home and get a little bit of a lemsip and a little bit of honey and get yourself back up and running.
Yes, I've been smashing the green tea with honey in it.
The green tea.
Howie?
There you go. That's what you need.
So
I need you
good.
fit and fighting. Sarah Fayor down in the rooms. Bob Jane T-Mart style. Pretty happy the Hawks there.
Oh, they're up and about, Howie, forming the circle now, about to get into that song. They'll be very happy, the Hawks, to square that one away with the Pies.
So they take their position now. And there's a man in the middle. And it's Kurt Headley with his first win. Here they go. Hawthorn 18-10, 118. Collingwood 14-10, 94. The Hawks running out 4 goal winners. Earlier on today, Essendon v Brisbane.
Yeah, Brisbane by 8 points over the Bombers, Howie.
And Manny Pacquiao defeated in a unanimous decision by Jeff Horn up in Brisbane. And Manny said after the fight that he would return for a rematch in Australia. So good news there for boxing fans and sport fans in general. We must be getting close to the Triple M Best on Ground Award. I think we can probably have a bit of a look at that now. I think that's you today, is it, Roosie?
Yeah, they're going to be all Hawthorn, as you can imagine. A couple of good players on to go his personal best, but they're all Hawthorn players. And I'm going to leave out Luke Hodge because he's had a truckload of votes over the course of the season.
Just hold on one sec, Roosie. We might just get down to Ruffy with Sarah at the moment.
No,
you have a bit more to think about
that too. How
you can stretch it out a bit, and no doubt you'd slide Ruffy into your best. He's down with Sarah now. G'day, Sarah.
Yeah, thanks, Howie. Ruffy's got a big smile on his face. Congratulations. Great win today. Great to square that one away with Collingwood. And I noticed there was about 13 goal scorers tonight. You've shared it around, including a couple yourself. Congratulations.
Yeah, cheers, Sarah. I mean, probably a strength of our pass has been the spread of goal kickers, and as you said, 13 tonight. It's pretty good. It shows signs that we're sharing the ball and not just relying on a couple of forwards, which is good.
Ruffy, really impressed with your sort of reshaping the game plan in a sense. We had Chip Frawley in here before the game, but I just felt 3 weeks ago it was really uncontested possessions, which has been your game style over the last 4 or 5 years, has been so successful. But loved your clearance work in the last couple of weeks, love your contested possession work, and I love the way the last couple of weeks has probably reshaped the way that Hawthorn are now playing their footy again.
Yeah, you're right. I guess, going into the bye after a couple of losses against Port and Gold Coast, we probably had a look at the stats and had a look at a few things at where we were probably poor in, and obviously contested ball's been spoken about a fair bit in the last couple of years with our game plan. So I guess if you can't beat them, you've got to join them. So we've looked at that closely and probably had a little bit of a focus on it the last couple of weeks, and I think, even though we went down last week against Adelaide, I think we gave away 10 free kicks in the middle, which if we didn't do that, we'd probably win contested ball, and then I think we won it today. Hopefully that's why you're asking the question, because we've won.
Yeah, you did win it. Well done, mate. Well guessed. Good guess.
So, 2 weeks in a row that we're probably on top of it, which is a positive.
Hey, Ruffy, what are the instructions when you turned the footy over a lot today, and so did Collingwood? It was sort of one of those games, but the instructions to continue to play that style even though you're turning the footy over a lot?
Yeah, I guess, when it's ping-pong like that first half, I guess, one, it doesn't suit me, so we've got to try and compose the ball a fair bit. If you're playing ping-pong footy, that first half, I reckon, is the highest we've run in the year, so you can see what happens when it's just going up and down, and that's what Collingwood want. They want it, turn over and then try to come back through the middle as quick as they can and get those waiver runners. So if we can, learning from that, and probably after half-time we were better, instead of just going right round and taking uncontested marks. I think we had 40 in the second quarter. You attack the game a bit more and you stay composed on one side, and that allows you to set up behind the ball but also compete down the line.
Hey, Ruffy, tell us what's going on in your mind. You kicked a massive goal against Sydney to win the game about 4 or 5 weeks ago. You had a shot after the siren today. When you go back for that kick, do any negative thoughts go into your mind at all?
No, I'd probably rushed it a bit too much. I thought that I'd beat, everyone that was coming down to try and get in the air. So, mate, I've done, you've been a part of this for 13 years and you do a routine over and over again, and sometimes you're going to stuff up, and today was one of them.
Hey, Ruffy, James Sicily seems to have slotted in quite nicely off half-back.
Yeah, he has, and as well as Hardwick, Burton and Brown down there, you've got a new wave of Hawthorn boys, and hopefully those boys stick together and can be the future going forward. You put 4 of them down there, you give them all the job last week, and today, they take the game on and have got confidence, which is what you want to see from kids playing in defence especially.
Yeah, Ruffy, tell us a bit about Burton. He looks to be the steal of the draft. I believe he did have a broken leg going into last year's draft, but he certainly looks, I think he was picked 19.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit more about him. Geez, he's composed, he's got great skills, and he looks like a good-sized kid too.
Well, he came in last year, and obviously coming off a broken leg, he went in for surgery and got the rod out. Only played probably a couple of games, and then was picked towards the back end of last year. And once you get a pre-season, and he was playing as a forward in pre-season, but with the tools that we've got, it probably makes it a bit hard for him. So then, you chuck a kid in defence. I was exactly the same, and a lot of young forwards they go defence to start off their careers. And today, or even the past, I think he came in against round 2 against Adelaide and played on Walker, and just from there he's grown in confidence. And you see, a kid that's probably going to play 200 plus games of footy, and hopefully in the brown and gold.
What else is happening away from footy, Ruff?
Oh, yeah, not much. I'm pretty keen on free agency. I saw Paddy Mills and Joe Ingles got paid a fair bit today, so it's their shout. But also, mate, what about this? They've just got an AFL club salary in their own back pocket, so they're doing okay.
Yeah, extraordinary. I think Paddy went for about 40 mil.
50, mate.
50.
Mate.
You should have stuck to the hoops there in Lee and Gaffer.
Mate, I'm all good. How are you? How's the Penguin?
Nah, Big Penguin's good, mate. Big Penguin and the Pickle going okay. Thanks for asking.
No worries, brother.
Peace and love, Big Daddy. Jared Ruffhead doing a very nice job down there. He's just a lovely, lovely man. He is, Roosie, and we need characters like that in footy, and the Big Penguin's okay. Thanks for asking. All right, sorry to interrupt you earlier on.
No, that was worthwhile.
As you were giving the votes.
Well done. There's a lot of good players, obviously, the Hawthorn team, and thought they played particularly well. Hodgie's going to be stiff to miss out, but a little bit about the future, I reckon, today. Sicily, I've given 1 vote. I thought he was really good. 25 possessions. Two-man's on his phone, so he's not going to help me now. 25 possessions and the goal. And Ryan Burton, he's just such an impressive kid. hit. You know, he's had 29. He's gone by 93%.
Yep.
Yeah, by foot. And I thought he was outstanding. Look, and I'm going to have to give it to Tommy the 3, particularly because of his 2 goals late in the game. Duck, I just felt that really separated.
Big moments too.
Big moments in the game, really separated the game. And 35 disposals, as silly as it sounds, you sort of expect that from him now. But you made the call. If he can kick more goals, he becomes more dangerous. 35 possessions, 2 goals, 2 crucial goals. Best on ground performance from Tommy Mitchell.
Well done, Roosie. Anyone else, anything to add here or not? We're pretty much done?
Wrap it up.
Oh, just keep an eye out, Stucky. The MotoGP from the Saxon Ring tonight, Duck, 9:30 on 1. You can watch that. You'll be tuning in that while you're having your lem sip, I hope.
No.
Okay. What'd you say about Rather doing what? What was your job?
I'll be
Under the house, cleaning the cobwebs.
60 minutes.
Under the house.
60 minutes tonight.
Well done to MJ and Jason in the back row. Who was back in the studio today? MJ? Who was that pushing the buttons? Well done to Blakey. Very nice job. Well done to you, Roosie, the Chew Man, the Duck,
Anyone else to thank, Howie?
The bloke in 27C over there, and to the Hawks who got the job done. We are going to another game of football after this over in the West. What is the score there between Freo and St Kilda?
Dockers 7-5-47, leading the Saints by 3 points, 6-8-44, half time.
Hey, Duck, just before you go.
Too late.
We'll go and see Dennis Cometti in a moment with Lockie Reed, Andrew Emily and Tanya Armstrong. The Hawks have got the job done here. Hawthorn 1-18, Collingwood 94. For McDonald's Triple M Rocks Footy, here's Jeff Tyler with another M Sport update for the Master Builders Association of Victoria. JT.